What is going on, everybody? It is episode 724 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I am here once again on this fine Friday afternoon. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. Happy Friday. Today is a historic episode of
Somber.
PCC. I mean, I don't know. I feel happy about new beginnings, but this is our last episode in the OG studio, which... if we haven't mentioned it before, this is the OG Timcast IRL studio, really. But we took it over, and now this is our last episode in this one before we relocate. And I guess to commemorate all of the fond memories here, we have a special guest joining us. Hi.
Oh my God, it's me.
It's
Chrissie.
It's Chrissie Mayr. It's me.
You have been up here before, right?
Yeah.
I have. I was here. It brings back old memories. I was here. I did Timcast in March of 2021 in this room. And nothing has changed. It's beautiful. Still the same.
Well, the
carpet.
lighting got way better.
There's flattering lighting. There's muted pastels.
Yes.
There's a lot more stuffed animals than there was for Timcast.
We changed it for the better, I hope.
Oh yeah, it's upbeat. It feels like an Asian teenager's bedroom. in here.
Real quick, we have a $25 super chat from Jose Quintana. Oh, elevated ghost empress of death and fashion. I have seen Conclave, somewhat predictable with some political moments, wrapped up nicely. Hi, Chrissy. Good day, optical overlord. Long live the ghost empress. I disavow you paying these people to see such drivel in the theaters.
He didn't seem to hate it all that much.
Yeah.
I assume that everybody who's talked
principle.
about it would be hating on Conclave. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Guys, we got a bunch of stuff to get into today. I do think it's interesting that, I was, last night, it kind of hit me that this was the last show in the studio.
Is it emotional? Are we emotional right now? I haven't had time to think about it. Everything's just go.
You're definitely pre-emotional.
I don't know if it was like a negative feeling, but it was definitely kind of somber because, I've worked up here every single day, 5 to 7 days a week sometimes for the last 3 years. So, it's going to be weird to move it all into a new space and take it over there. But, it's good. You have to look towards new beginnings and you have to look to grow. And being over closer to everyone over there at Freedomicide will definitely be good for the show. So we are excited about that. We got a bunch of stuff to get into today, but before we get started, guys, hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel, please, if you have not subscribed here yet already, especially if you are a new viewer. Be sure to share these videos out with your friends, your family, your loved ones, people you like, people you hate, mortal enemies if you have them. The more people you share these episodes with, the faster channels like this can grow. So thank you guys so much for that. What are we getting into today? Well, it is, again, the girliest episode ever. I'm basically here. I am here to not say a whole lot today because Mary
we want you to be involved.
Yeah, you're here for decoration.
That's me,
and
right?
Also for the male perspective.
On my perspective on Ethan Slater's SpongeBob's take on divorcing his wife for Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Something I've never thought about in my entire life until this very moment.
No, we have talked about them on the show before, but I'm not done.
Yeah.
I need more outrage.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how Gisele Bundchen got knocked up by her personal trainer.
Yeah. What was it? What is it? Tai Chi instructor, some jujitsu instructor, something like that. Very stereotypical.
7 rings.
They
wasn't
locked
enough.
eyes in the sauna.
He hit the Tai G spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 rings wasn't enough. She had to move on. That's just sad. Also, I put a question in the chat. We posed a question. Mary suggested it. I thought this would go a completely different way. But I asked you guys, should women propose to men? And it is right now currently a heck of a lot more split than I thought it would be. I did not think it would be. I thought you men would have some dignity and say no. But apparently I'm wrong. And 66% of you say no. But that means that not half, but a little under half of you think that women should propose to men.
So if you think that women should propose to their boyfriends, I'm telling you right now, send a super chat and explain why. I want to argue about this.
Okay, so and that's what we're going to talk about. We
have another 20. Sorry to interrupt. Pop Culture Junkie said, so what's your new studio like? Catered food, valet parking, free daycare. Pool tables. Oops, sorry, I got you mixed up with Google.
Yeah. Well,
No, it's all of that and more.
we're not able to make those day in the life of a Google employee videos where they don't actually do anything.
I mean, we have been offered like free massage therapy
Ooh.
before. We can't exactly have that much room to talk in that regard, but
remember again, I suppose I should give you guys an announcement right now, again at the beginning of the show and at the end of the show. Next week during election week, the show will be off air while we move studios. Mary's going to be out in Nashville covering the election with Timcast and the rest of the company. I will be trying my best to not have a heart attack from all the cords that have to be unplugged, replugged in. We have to set up new camera setups and everything. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be worth it, guys. So
we have another 20 from Daniel J. Corica. What is with the epidemic of single 30-year-old women with a childless, less than 2 years old, looking for someone to raise someone else's child? I already raised my own child. Just asking. Goodbye, OG Studio.
My favorite is when people write the fake Tinder profiles for women, and they're not real. At least I hope they're not real, and it's like the most ridiculous list of expectations you've ever seen. It's like mother to, and then it lists like 8 kids, and it says can't make less than $500,000 a year.
Well, usually it's she's my world.
Yeah,
and she drives a Nissan Altima.
Yeah,
if the kid is her world,
those are great cars.
Wow, we're getting a lot. We have another 20 from the Manic Mustache. Red Battle Panda update. Our little guys have been holed up in customs since the 25th. Billy and I got the battle barn completed last weekend, an amazing place to rest, train, and be the post-apocalyptic battle steeds of legend.
I mean, you really should be making videos of the battle pandas.
I still don't know if this is real.
Yes, we'll have to wait and see. So if you guys are ready, we'll just get started. You ready, Mary?
Yeah, I think we're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, let's go ahead and get started then. First things first, you'll get used to it. Me and Mary, we're dead to, like, those things are dead to us.
I'm
going
to get a paper cut in the eye. Some of these things go really far across the table.
Not.
So we got a bunch of stuff to get into today. First things first, everyone. So AI is getting worse for everybody. Ireland. There was an ad that was run, an AI-generated ad from a website in Pakistan that advertised a Halloween parade in Ireland, and it just wasn't real at all, and hundreds of people showed up.
We're
That's
going
crazy.
to go trick-or-treating now.
Don't they have better things to do?
Grab your Guinness and your potato, and we go trick-or-treat.
Do they trick-or-treat in Ireland? I have no idea.
I
saw people like arguing the other day about
It has,
people in the
like,
UK arguing about
traditions.
Americans bringing Halloween to the UK.
They do it a little bit differently because we do a shaming show, a clothing shaming show called Nightlife every Thursday with my friend Keanu, and we were just going over some Halloween footage on Thursday. Yesterday. And somebody in the chat was like, yeah, I'm in the United Kingdom. We don't really do costumes like you guys. And I'm like, we're watching the footage. I'm like, no, your costumes are just worse. Do you know the bar is so incredibly low for women to have a costume on Halloween? It's like, wear lingerie and then just some kind of ears. Pop on some cat ears, you're done.
Actually, the joke I made yesterday ended up being proved right. Bianca Censori went like dressed down in actual clothes for Halloween rather than
shocking.
You know, when every day is slutty Halloween for you, you don't need to do it on Halloween.
Do a cardigan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the most popular costume this year for young women has been Sabrina Carpenter. They're dressing up as Sabrina Carpenter.
Why?
And that literally just means like wearing bedazzled lingerie.
Okay.
This is exactly what you're saying.
It's a tale as old as time.
Except without the ears.
Yeah.
Less effort.
I mean, 15 years ago, like the joke you made on the show the other day was, it was the Mean Girls joke. It was the one night a year that a woman could dress like a total slut. Nobody can do anything about it. You can't shame women for it nowadays anyways. So
thank you. First crisis party.
Crisis party.
We're eating the cat. We're eating the cat. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
Okay. Donald.
But like so many things about Mean Girls, they said no other girls can say anything about it.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Like, they acknowledged that you were going to get slut shamed by the other girls, not by the men.
The
men love it.
Yeah.
The men don't care.
Exactly.
I just thought this was interesting because nothing feels real anymore. I had to like call my bank the other day, and there's not a lot of branches for my because I still have a bank that's from where I was in Minnesota. I was like,
small town value bank.
it's like, so nothing feels real anymore. I was like, for all I know, this dude isn't a real person, and I'm being screwed out of thousands of dollars. Because you don't actually physically go to a location anymore. Right. So you go and you look at an ad, and it says, "Oh, there's a Halloween party in town." So where we live out here is a small town. It's only like 8,000 people. There's gonna be so many churches like that's not a small town. They put signs up, they put the road, they wheel in the digital signs. It says trunk or treat this date, November 5th, this block. That's real because nobody's gonna what's the money to be made in putting a fake road sign out there? That feels more tangible to me.
What's the aim here? Just chaos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that Irish people just don't have anything better to do
Nothing better to do
on their Halloween.
All right, so we have covered the saga of Cynthia Erivo extensively on this channel after her huge blunder acting as if somebody recreating a poster for the Wicked movie was some type of slight against her and all of I guess her race.
How is it a slight?
Because they covered up her eyes. That's what she said.
They were erasing her.
Yeah.
But
They erased her.
How the
poster looked?
Poster
Yes.
looks. That's how the Broadway show poster has always looked.
When we talked about this initially, I didn't take anything of this as racial. It was weird because Andy Signor mentioned it and said that he felt that it was...
No, it totally was.
It didn't feel that way to me. It just felt narcissistic, as in, I'm an actor, hear me roar.
But it's what Disparu said. He said all of her power in this industry comes from her identity markers. And if you hide her, you're hiding her identity. And she mentioned that in a Rolling Stone interview. She said, I'm a black queer woman playing Elphaba, so I need to be represented. She recently kind of doubled down, but admitted that she should have talked to friends first before posting about it.
That's a good idea all the time.
She said, I think I'm really protective. This is totally incoherent, by the way. I'm really protective of the role, and just as I'm passionate as... well, I am passionate about it, and I know that the fans are passionate about it. And I think for me, it was just like a human moment of wanting to protect little Elphaba, and it was like a human moment. I probably should have called my friends, but it's fine.
Yeah, saying human over and over again doesn't make me understand why.
Look, I can
crazy.
relate. I'm incoherent most of the time anyways, so that's fine.
Just say that you should have shut up about it. Just admit that you were wrong.
Nobody cares that you're queer. We don't need to imagine you chowing down on box every time you talk about your work.
No.
But they're right that her identity is key to her getting work in the industry. Plus, theater kids are naturally more annoying than regular kids.
They
anyways.
are.
We know
they're
this.
insufferable.
She's apparently notorious in the Broadway community, the Broadway stan community. They all know that she's insufferable, and you kind of just have to put up with it.
I did just see the other day that Rachel Zegler said she's not coming back for the next Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the next Hunger Games movie. It's like, only me and Mary care.
There was another prequel.
She wasn't awful in
No,
that.
she was.
Like
she was parts-
No, she wasn't. She's a great singer too.
I enjoyed that whole arc of topics because we get to dunk on her every time she said something and then compliment her whenever she'd come
You're
up with that movie.
saying there was a sequel for the prequel?
They're going to
Hunger
make
Games?
another one, yeah.
Just a quill.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that one did better than they expected it to.
I hate Hollywood. They just constantly sink to new lows. Ariana Grande recently posted a meme about Wicked on her Instagram story in reference to the election. She posted a still of Glinda, the good witch, saying, "Me in line to vote, eyeing the other white women. Are you a good witch or a bad witch?"
Think about that. That's categorizing people who vote differently than you as bad.
Also, Ariana Grande has run from the truth of her whiteness for so long.
Yeah.
How are you allowed to call yourself a white woman?
Now she's suddenly
Blackiana.
She's gonna change her last name to Big from Grande.
I love that meme that says Ariana Grande changed. She used to look like Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Now she looks like Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Yeah. Like, you switched races so many times. Don't tell me as a white woman who I should vote for.
I think they're trying to get ahead of the it's white women's fault. The election went a certain way.
Either way, it's the right. The right is going to blame white women. The left is going to blame white women.
The right
it's
should be,
inevitable.
I mean, if the right would be needing to blame men if they don't show up to vote, that would be the problem, I think, right now. that's more likely to be your issue here than
Women are more likely to vote.
Well, women. Right now, early voter turnout heavily favored women, especially in swing states, and
They love doing paperwork.
Women are just no. What
They
it is,
are.
they're
We're
lining up.
conscientious.
They're like, look, They're like, look, I need to kill babies, and I need to vote so that I can kill babies, and so they're getting in line to vote, and men are just like, look, I've been told my whole life not to have an opinion on women killing babies, therefore I'm ambivalent. They're making these ads, and there's been horrible ads made from the Harris Walls campaign that's attempting to pretend like they understand men at all.
Yeah.
And they've all been really, really bad. So men are just kind of ambivalent right now.
All the information that decides whether a baby's going to be a boy or a girl is in the sperm. It's like men should really have the like my body, my choice feeling. Like that came out of my body. So I
didn't know that actually. We have 20 from Ezek. Not only should women not propose to men, but proposals should not happen in public. I saw a proposal get rejected in a restaurant 20 years ago, and it still makes me feel bad sometimes.
Well, I mean, it is a lot of... it's a lot of pressure. I put that on the dude for not knowing
Yes,
the
the
relationship well enough.
unspoken rule is you only propose if you know the answers. Yes.
It's like a lawyer. A lawyer never asks a question they don't know the answer to already.
Right.
Exactly. I'll tell you something more important to vote in than the general election. It's People's Sexiest Man Alive of 2024. But they've already released the subcategories. Harry Styles got Sexiest Musician of 2024, and his runner-up is not happy. He said, I was the runner-up. I heard about the counts. A lot of you voted for me. But I want to speak to those who voted for Harry Styles. I hope you're happy. I hope your day is made from this, because guess what? His publicist isn't even going to mention this to him. He won't know about this. That boy is in Fiji somewhere. That's how insignificant this is to him. His publicist won't even mention it to him. So I hope you're happy. I'm treading lightly here. You had an opportunity to really do something for the culture, to create this beautiful ending to an underdog story, and you didn't.
This is somebody who did not get a senior superlative in high school.
I think he should be more embarrassed that he's trying so hard. He should be like, oh, I got second? That's cool. I didn't know.
You know what's really sexy?
Be aloof.
Not trying so hard.
Yeah, be aloof.
True.
Everyone likes it when you're more aloof. They don't want it to look like you actually wanted to win. You want to win and then be like, oh, I did? That's awesome.
Right.
Caring is unsexy.
But Harry Styles isn't sexy, so in a sense, he is right. He didn't deserve it.
A chick.
Yeah.
And did he even make any music this year?
Did he?
Did he wear a dress?
Probably wore a
I checked
dress.
out after Watermelon Sugar.
You know what it is? He probably gets proposed to.
Dude,
if he ever gets
Every
married,
show.
he'll get proposed to.
Yeah.
Look at that cleavage though. Yeah.
He's all greased
He's
up.
got some perky ones there.
He's not attractive. I don't understand the obsession.
No, he's very attractive to gay dudes though.
But there are so many women who thirst after Harry Styles, and I just don't understand.
There's 20 there.
Just as I'm free said, speaking of babies, congrats on your beautiful baby, Chrissie.
Thank you.
What's it like being a mom?
It's the best thing I've ever done by far, and like even in the hardest moments, it's still the best. Like all my reasons for being scared for not doing it in my 20s, it all like melts away, and all those reasons were bullshit, by the way. So if you're somebody who's like can
you list the reasons?
And for me, I was really afraid. I kept thinking, well, if I'm not ready for the worst case scenario, I should not have a kid. And the worst case scenario in my mind was like you get completely deserted and you have to pay for it and do everything completely by yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's just a scenario that was like not going to happen, you know? And I think we were talking about this in the car on the way up here. I think a lot of women's issues with babies are actually reflective of their issues with men. They're actually like afraid to open themselves up and be, because to be a mom is like, and even to be pregnant, it's like you put yourself in such a vulnerable position, all the changes of your body.
Donald Trump agrees.
Thank you, guys. This is for every $100 in super chats. Just so you know, we didn't really explain that.
I figured. I'm gonna do a Trump dance.
You gotta add the golf swing now.
Yeah.
So what surprised you the most about motherhood? Because like you said, there was a bunch of things that you were worried about that didn't end up being things you were worried about. What surprised you the most?
How you like, you're tired, but you have the energy to do what you need to do, and how little sleep you can actually totally function on. And just like how much love and how really great it is. Like, whatever your reasons are for not doing it, they're bullshit and wrong. So just do it. And don't overthink it too much. And don't think like everything has to be perfect. I mean, obviously, like, ideally do it with somebody that you love and care about. I've been meeting more and more of women, like, on flights and stuff, who are just like, they're having babies completely by themselves. And like,
not by choice, right?
Yeah, well, kind of like they don't really have a man in their life, and they're like on the edge of their 30s, and they go, well, I either have it by myself or I completely miss out. And there's like kind of a sadness to these women, but if having a kid makes them happy, go for it. But
So 20 there.
Last of My Kind said, speaking about showing on box, when I got to my second until I showed up to a house party with 2 Taco Bell 20 count boxes and a case of Shiner Instant Acceptance. Only propose if you know the answer.
And bring the 2 boxes of Taco Bell just in case she says no.
Yeah.
Then you have that to eat.
Right, exactly.
eat that in your car while you're crying.
Or
How'd
you
you,
bribe her and you say, if you marry me, I'll give you some of this Taco Bell.
How did you meet your husband?
Through comedy. He was booking shows. He ran a couple of clubs up in Westchester, but like he was booking comedy shows, and I was performing in comedy shows. And like he came in, I used to host a show at the Stonewall Inn, gay landmark, because I used to be a bit of a, I don't know if I can say that word.
F-word
An
hag.
F-word hag.
Yeah, I knew exactly where you were going with that.
I was such a great ally for so many years, and then I voted for Trump, and they all were like, goodbye. But I hosted a show there for 6 years, and he came in like kind of just trying to scout talent, and then it was just like,
He didn't know he was scouting for a wife.
Scouting
yeah.
talent. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
That's cute.
So
was cute.
you've also found this article, and that's speaking of weddings and marriage.
Yeah. I did want to ask you your thoughts about this. A bride shared her experience banning political talk at her wedding. This was a rule, like a gag order on all discussion of politics at her wedding, because it's just not the time or place for it. She said, whether you're the farthest right Trump supporter or farthest left liberal, there is a place for everybody at our wedding, but political views don't need to be discussed at our wedding. It's all about uniting people.
No, I don't like this person. This person she's probably a bit on the controlling side. And also people bond over, like when I came here, I was like, I started talking to people, like people who pick you up from the airport and like people in the Walmart. And, you start talking to people and you're like, oh, what we have in common is we both love Trump. It doesn't matter that I live in blue New York and you guys are out here. And that's what unites people. And I think just saying I'm banning any kind of talk at my wedding, that's someone who's trying to control how the day goes. And it's impossible to control how your wedding day is going to go. And I don't know, but maybe her family is just really divided on it, but I just think it's lame to be like, don't talk about politics. It's my day. You're supposed to talk about me.
This is a Bridezilla moment.
It
maybe.
is.
I don't know. I was kind of sympathetic to it when I saw the headline.
Ban it.
You're pro-banning?
I'm yeah. You're spending like $1 gazillion. Ban it.
You know what? I say this, but
it's on your dime.
90% of people at our wedding were like loved Trump.
Yeah.
So
To me, it's also like whenever if people are there for something like a wedding, which is supposed to be about deep human connection, I find something actually disgusting about having to connect through politics, which is inherently related to government. That actually makes me feel gross. I don't want to connect at that time about politics. I would rather talk about anything else. I'd rather talk about sports. I would rather, and that's just as shallow, but just no. Like I'm with her. She spent the money. However, if she has an open bar, she's not going to have much of a choice in the matter.
Exactly. It's going to come out.
I mean, there's a reason why people always talk about the reason we're so divided in politics is because we never learned how to have these conversations at the dinner table. And on one hand, I agree. On the other hand, I think that underestimates human nature. And I don't think there actually is an answer to that, or else it would have been found by now. I think that people are just going to disagree. And since politics now is just code for wedge issues, which cut to the core of your beliefs as a human, and it's never about actual policy, you're not even arguing about politics. You're arguing about morality or preconceived
pop
morality.
culture.
Yeah. So just no, ban it. It's you spent $8 gazillion. You are allowed to tell these people no.
I feel like they probably came from very politically polarized families.
Yeah.
So if you know that going into it, maybe this is the move. Did you ever watch The Wonder Years?
Yes. What would you do if I sang?
And the sister, the older sister, is like this mega lib hippie in the show.
Oh,
She's like a
right.
super turbo hippie. And she gets into arguments with their dad at the dinner table. And they have all of this strife over it, but they still wrote storylines where they showed the dad's deep love for his daughter despite their political differences.
Hollywood doesn't have writers that
They would
understand.
never do
We
that today.
didn't have that. I would have those conversations with my dad when I was like a dumb, brainwashed, liberal college student, and it would end in me like crying and running upstairs to my room, like, I hate you. Why don't you care more about the homeless?
A good example of a show that's been done recently is the show Blue Bloods, which is about this family of cops. Every episode involves some type of family dinner scene where they go over whatever the case was that is being worked on in the show, and it usually does revolve around questions of morality. And all of the characters, because obviously Frank Reagan is the police commissioner, he's older. Then you've got Danny and the brothers. They're in their, they're working cops. One's a detective and one's a beat cop. And then you have the daughter, who is kind of a by the end of the show, she's a college student and she's more idealistic, and you've got the moms who have their own unique perspective. That's a good example of a show that would give you multiple perspectives about something without showing you a world where they all hate each other because they see the world differently. But most Hollywood writers wouldn't be able to do what they did on the Wonder Years before, because most Hollywood writers don't value family the way family was valued back in the...
And we are just coming out of the era of, if your dad is a Trump supporter, you need to disown him. You need to disown your family members. You have to, like, they've completely normalized not being on speaking terms with, your immediate family and friends.
Even divorces.
Oh,
we
yeah.
were talking about this yesterday. People are like, you should divorce your husband if he's a Trump supporter.
That's what I mean when I say that it's no longer about policy, it's about morality. It's not what it used to be. When you argued about politics before, you argued about, from a arm's length, about the idea of immigration or the idea of this and that, and now it's about whether you're a good person or not.
And even with this Ariana Grande thing, like what she posted about, like this, and it's in these commercials of like women are supposed to wink and nod at each other at the polls, like we're hiding how dumb we are from our husbands. They'll never know. Vote for Kamala.
Somebody should make a version of that ad where they both wink at each other, but they didn't vote for the same person.
Exactly.
They're just completely disconnected from the other.
They'll be mouthing like, I voted for Trump.
But I know what can finally bring unity to our political landscape in 2024.
What's that?
The Avengers.
Yeah.
The Avengers are assembling for democracy. They made this awful Vote Blue ad with a bunch of the Marvel actors promoting election endgame. Election endgame is the hashtag. Every vote counts, y'all. Mark Ruffalo posted this, of course. He's notorious for his TDS.
No Chris Pratt here, I noticed.
Yeah. Suspiciously missing.
Robert Downey Jr. slowly turning into a lesbian before our eyes.
They're, I do agree with somebody on Twitter. They all look like they're dying of a terminal illness. They do. Let's watch this video here.
Hi, you guys. Hi, Avengers.
What? Hey, Scarlett.
Jumping on the call.
Whoa. I think you mean assembling.
The lack of laughter after that was my favorite part.
Don, that's pretty good. No, they thought it was funny.
Scarlett, it is our pleasure to come together and to get the vote out this election.
Yeah, how can we be of service?
Well, how about we start with what our voting plans are going to be, who we're going to bring to the polls with us, that sort of thing. Just to,
I think Kamala Harris needs a catchphrase.
Ooh, yes, definitely a catchphrase.
How about this? I'm just off the top of my head. I can do this all day.
Shut up.
I hate it. Okay.
I mean, it's original, but
What about something punchier like,
Ooh, boom. You looking for this?
Iron Man 2, everybody loved it.
okay. Again, I think we're just trying to get out the vote.
Kamala forever.
That's better.
Okay,
How about I'm down with democracy? It's just clean, it's simple.
okay, I like that.
It's hard to argue with that.
Kamala Harris down with democracy.
Oh, yeah. I'm Kamala Harris, and I say down with democracy.
I don't know if that sounds the way we want it to sound, though.
I think we just need, can we get some production though?
Jarvis?
My name's not Jarvis, but whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right. Down with democracy.
Down with democracy.
Their copyright music is not catching me today. Sorry about that.
This is just like, what was the thought process? Who
be-
came up with this?
It should be Kamala on her knees being like, I could do this all day. And then Willie Brown turns around.
I can't.
Is this Disney? Like, is Disney affiliated with this?
Not
Or is it
likely.
just something that they did together
Reached out
because they're
individually.
yeah, because they're all crazy.
These people have literally zero in common with the average voter.
Yep.
But the problem is that's not their fault. That's the average voter's fault for not being able to separate these two. And if you're voting the same way as the limousine liberal, you better also be in a limousine. Otherwise, you're making a poor choice.
And can't you, when you watch this, go, these people don't even enjoy making this. Every I feel like they're struggling. Like, what are we going to say next? Every
all hate
line
each
is
other.
like,
And they edited the crap out of that. All of that dialogue was tightened up. It was very clearly not actually done. in
Yikes.
Or
that
they all
order.
recorded it individually and then put it in later. I don't even know.
So
But
sad.
Mark Ruffalo followed it up saying, "This shit is real. Take 3 friends and know, no matter what, you're a hero."
I am so sick of having to ask this question every time. Why aren't they at work? These
They have
people
no
are never
lives.
working. They're always campaigning for people.
Those
Go to
Marvel
work.
paychecks were sweet though, so
know.
now they're free to do
What?
shit like this.
LGBTQIA plus rights hang in the balance this election cycle. What?
They don't know. They don't know. They also
Inmates
don't
getting
know that-
trans surgery? Is that what we're worried about?
That Trump had an openly gay cabinet member in 2016, but they don't know that. They don't really connect to the idea that if he wasn't Hitler the first time around, he's certainly not going to be Hitler the second time
Right.
around. I always liked the idea that Styx floated one time where he said he thought that if Trump had been able to act unencumbered, that what he really wanted was to do everything that he had on the agenda in one term and then just leave so he could enjoy the rest of his life. But they put roadblocks up the whole time and made it impossible to get everything done in that first term. And again, this is not their, as cringy as this is not their fault. They get paid.
They're in a bubble.
Look, this is also, everyone's saying it's the Diddy tapes. No, these people are weird.
Mark Ruffalo is not on the Diddy
These
tapes.
people,
I'm sorry.
These people are weirdo true believers who
Yeah.
110% think that they are doing the right thing while being completely uninformed about what the opposite side of the aisle actually thinks. They truly do believe that abortion is on the ballot without understanding
Wow.
how constitutional amendments work, without understanding how any type of change
rights.
to the Bill of Rights or Constitution, they don't get it. Okay,
I just don't understand,
That is
like-
our fault as a country to be uneducated enough to not understand that what they believe and what they campaign for doesn't do you any good because they are insulated by their wealth.
Yep.
But who are they trying to reach? Like, what actual purpose do they think an ad like this serves? I said this yesterday. Who hears Julia Roberts voice a political ad and they're like, you know what? I was going to stay home on November 5th, but now, like, Julia Roberts told me to vote for Kamala, so I'm going to. Like, the Marvel adults are already voting Kamala.
I really liked Pretty Woman in that scene where she goes back into the store and she's well dressed.
Was
she
that
looks rich.
Wait, no, Notting Hill. Yeah, no,
What does
I
Hugh
don't
Grant think of democracy? That's what we really need to know.
I just don't think this actually changes anyone's mind. So
No,
why-
I do. I absolutely. I don't think it's as much about changing people's mind. I think it's about the amount of followers each of them have, and it's about pushing them to remember. Okay, I don't think that a person who was maybe like, you know what, I really enjoyed Trump's policies and the idea of deportations really, really hits me. Oh crap! Well, Robert Downey Jr. said I should vote the other. No, it's not about that. They were already going to vote that way. It's about reminding them to get out and do it.
And it serves another purpose of, it's like all these Hollywood elite. It's like their nod to each other, like, hey, just letting you know I'm on the right side here. So when you're casting your next project, like, remember me, shilling for Kamala.
Right.
It's a 20 there.
Gordon Shumway said, it's sad when your comic book heroes you grew up with turn out to be clueless theater kids. I do like the Kamala down with democracy catchphrase. She did get nominated without an election. That is the fall of democracy.
Again, that's another thing that you would have to point out to them. Say, okay, you guys like to talk about democracy a lot. You never mention the fact that we don't actually live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic, a representative government, which is very, very different. Explain to me how she came to be on the ballot if she didn't actually go through any primary elections. They don't really understand. They don't really care. A lot of verbal slurs sludge is just thrown their way with buzzwords, and it works really, really well. The problem is that, again, this is a fault of our own country for getting rid of civics class and not let in the idolatry around celebrities. I saw whenever these things come up, people do rightly point out, they say, look, actors used to be considered the dregs of society. They were not held in any regard whatsoever. And, you know, you actually could blame, in a lot of ways, you could blame capitalist... our capitalist market for that, because movies make these people famous, which is all tied to money. So it's a kind of never going to go away. This is going to happen every election cycle.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I look at these ads with all these celebrities. It just reminds me of like the legacy media. It's just like crusty, old tactics. Who is this for?
Crusty old people. They look crusty and old in the...
I'm going to give them some compliments. They tightened the shots up a little bit so that you can't see the mansions that they live in. I do like Scarlett Johansson kind of fails. She's like,
somewhere in
like,
the out west.
She's like, that's expensive land she's on right there.
Yeah.
Everybody else is kind of in a room that you can't really... that's a pretty big TV behind Mark Ruffalo. You should hide that.
That's what we learned during the pandemic when everyone was doing their Zooms. We were like, oh, that's when we learned... Was it Martha Stewart? Somebody had two gigantic... No, it was Pelosi. She had two, like, $12,000 or $20,000 fridges behind her. People were like, I know what kind of fridge that is. And there's two of them behind her. And so they got wise to, like, don't have all your rich stuff in the background of your Zoom shot.
Like, if I lived like that, I would want to stay home, too.
Yeah.
I would save lives.
I think it was like there was one with Pierce Brosnan, and just like it was the most picturesque landscape you've ever seen outside the window behind him, and he's talking about staying home and staying safe. I'm like, if that was my home, I would want to stay home too.
You have a pool, okay?
That like apology video that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis put out when they were like, we're sorry for defending Danny Masterson. But they were very visibly poolside.
Like another margarita, jeez.
Literally.
Right. What would you like to see? Cringe or cute of the day?
Cringe.
Cringe? Okay, I sent you the link to it in
We were
Slack.
behind schedule here. Let me find it here.
This is actually really just my ploy to make you finally watch Scream Queens, Brett.
Okay. Hold on. I'm moving it over here. All right. Here
Actually, no. I think this one is about millennials.
Yes,
this is millennial cringe.
Core. Mm-hmm. Okay, hold on. Refresh.
Taylor Swift gets to be small girl with Travis Kelce because he's large boy, and she gets to be small girl. He can just scoop her up. She's not gonna be a boss for him. You know, she gets to be small girl. What are you, little toddler that spills everything?
The rest on my roster. PCC Studio roster.
Small potatoes, small potatoes, small potatoes, small potatoes, small potatoes. Kid balloons, but one at a time. Lord.
The hell did I just watch?
Oh my God. I feel retarded.
What the hell did I just watch?
Millennial brain rot.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, that's...
No matter what you say about Gen Z, they will never be this chuggy.
Yeah. I do have the brain rot.
Say what you will.
I do have the brain rot alphabet here.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Brainrot alphabet. A is for alpha male. B is for baby Gronk. C is for Cuddy Boy. D is for Duke Dennis. E is for edging. F is for phantom tax. G is for gap. H is for hair maxing.
I've never heard hair maxing. Is that a thing?
Rogaine maxing.
I've heard of looks maxing.
J is for Jojo Siwa. K is for Kai Sinat. L is for Livy Dunn. M is for mewing. N is for No Nut November. O is for Only in Ohio.
Which starts today.
Yeah.
P is for Prime. Q is for Quandale Dingle. R is for Riz. S is for Skibbity Toilet. T is for That Vegan Teacher. U is for Upper Deckies. V is for Vector, specifically the TikTok Vector. W is for What the Sigma. X is for XQC. Y is for You Are My Sunshine LeBron James. And Z is for Zesty.
A lot of work went into making that.
Yeah. I knew L was going to be Livy Dunn.
Yeah, of course. Right?
I knew it.
All right. Well, don't worry, guys. We've also got cute of the day.
Hey, don't let the election distract you from No Nut November.
That is,
I'll
yes.
just say that.
Matias Gomez says, my cat daughter adapting her body so she can be as long as she is to nap all over me.
Aww. Very cute.
That's a happy cat.
Thank you.
Eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat.
We're not going to eat the cat.
Eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. Eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
I love that you're getting into it.
This is from Nate. He says, here's my submission for Cue of the Day. It says, oh, look at that. It says, when we got him, playing at our old place.
Very cute.
Doing gummies with my wife.
What's in his mouth? Looks like there's a testicle in his mouth.
It's his tongue. It's his tongue.
Oh, God.
All right.
That's
All
scared
right.
you a
Let's
little
go
bit.
ahead and get started then.
Yeah. I fear that there are too many people like Ariana Grande in the world, operating with reckless abandon, selfishness to the nth degree, with no thought whatsoever for how their actions affect other people and their relationships. And I bring this up again because Ethan Slater, her boyfriend, recently did an interview with GQ. And he defended his decision to leave his wife, his high school sweetheart, and their newborn baby in order to have sex with Ariana Grande. That's really blatantly what happened. They went off to film Wicked in the UK, and he fell in love on set with Ariana Grande and shamelessly destroyed his marriage. Ariana Grande is a homewrecker. I have talked about this on the show before, but I'm not done. I still have thoughts. I still have thoughts that I want to express because this is just, you're too comfortable. You're too comfortable. You're getting way too confident with it. Ariana has now posted pictures of Ethan Slater, gone out in public with him. There is no shame. There is no thought to reputation and no thought to how this affects his now ex-wife and their child in the future. It's just whatever makes me happy and puts a smile on Ariana Grande's face, that's what I'm going to do. And Ethan Slater has commented on how it was really difficult to get criticism about his relationship with Ariana Grande. It was really difficult. He said there were a lot of big changes in private lives that were really happening. So it's really hard to see people who don't know anything about what's happening commenting on it and speculating and then getting things wrong about the people you love.
I mean, that's just a side effect of being in the public eye.
Yeah, you're a
Not to
public
mention being a public figure and choosing something that's very clearly going to set people off.
Yeah. Don't pay attention to me. I'm just going to bang one of the most famous women in the world.
But leave me alone.
But look away.
Leave Ethan Slater alone. It's just
like he would get that kind of attention even if he wasn't divorcing his wife and kid.
We didn't get shit wrong. We didn't get anything wrong, Ethan.
No,
we saw what you did. It was very blatant. It was out in the open. You thought you could get away with it, and you didn't. But now I see the Ariana Grande stans have changed their tune, and they're like, wait, why is he kind of fine, though? No, this man is repulsive. He's disgusting. He played SpongeBob on Broadway. Does that not say enough about this man? So SpongeBob... I'm telling you, like, this man is the spitting image of her brother, first of all, but he is the lowest T celebrity boyfriend I've ever seen.
Wow.
And I'm just asking, SpongeBob, please tell us why you were justified in abandoning your wife, who you were with since high school, and your newborn child. I'm not talking like, you know, they've been together for a decade. Like, they just had a child.
Damn.
And he got too big for his britches once a hot chick paid attention to him for the first time. And this is why they say you never give an ugly guy a chance because they'll think they rule the world.
Do you remember earlier when we were asking you about your pregnancy, you were talking about all those fears that were kind of baseless? It actually happened here.
Oh, right.
It actually happened here.
Actually, yeah, this is the worst case scenario.
This is the worst case scenario for that lady.
You know what? I was right.
And I feel so bad for her. I also feel bad for Ariana Grande's ex-husband. She was with this guy named Dalton Gomez, and he was also not a public figure, just a normal guy.
Yeah.
And he wanted to work on their relationship, and she was like, nah, F you, I'm gonna go have sex with SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Like, and now people are defending it. People were commenting saying, wow, you're really holding celebrities to standards you don't hold your own friends or family to. I would absolutely hold my friends and family to these standards and myself.
There's another stan in the replies here. Number one, he didn't leave his child. Well, it's like you don't care at all what the baby's point of view is. What that's gonna forever.
Yeah.
You've ruined that family. That
Right.
dynamic is forever changed, and not for the better.
Number two, divorces happen. It's 2024. Oh, so divorces just like happen. Like you just wake up one day and you're like, oh, divorce just happened to me. I didn't choose my divorce. My divorce just happened out of nowhere, like magic.
It's just like our wedding. It just happened. Now it's over.
Hollywood has done a lot of work in the last 20 or 30 years to tell a lot of stories about divorce and coming back from divorce and blended families and things like that. So their logic is that of somebody who's consumed a lot of media. Perhaps it happened to them in their lives, but there isn't, usually when they tell these stories, it's not about the couple trying to save their marriage. It's about the marriage is over. Now, how do I start fresh? And there's 20 or 30 years of movies like that. So there isn't really a lot of thought given to the idea of saving the marriage because you're supposed to put your own needs ahead of the relationship, according to Hollywood.
But like in a marriage, you're supposed to put the kid really before yourself. Like there is something. Like you're supposed to work on your relationship, not be miserable like the boomers did. They just stayed in the they didn't work on their relationship, but they did just stay together for the kids. It's like, no, work on your relationship, make it stronger so that you can be a good example for your kid. But these celebrities, like money's not an issue for them. So if they divorce, it's like the kids' quality of life won't suffer like in terms of material things, but yeah, it's not gonna be good for their well-being.
This actually turned into a huge debate on Twitter recently. I don't know if you caught on to any of this discourse, but people were debating about whether you should put your spouse first or your child first. Actually, it was posed as a question to men. Who do you put first? Your mom, your wife, or your daughter?
Depends on the situation. Like if there's a truck cartwheeling down the road between the three of us, I would, and me and Frank have had this conversation. We were like, no, we're saving the kid. Like obviously throw me in front of the truck if you need to save that baby. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in general, they're just saying as a general principle, like which woman takes precedence in your life? And I think most of the responses I saw were saying their mom.
Well, who's going to cook for them?
Presumably their mom, I guess.
Are they Italian?
That answer surprises me.
Yeah, why?
It just surprises me. I thought the debate was supposed to be between whether it's the child or the wife, and that there's supposedly like a right answer to this question.
Yeah, most of them were saying mom, which is kind of weird to me. Because once you've gotten married, you're starting your own family.
I've seen Bates Motel. This doesn't end well.
Yeah, like in a life-saving situation, you go kid, but that means, I mean, this conversation has gotten so muddled because you really do need to prioritize like your sort of date night time and your couple time.
Because your marriage being strong helps your children.
Yeah.
And really, it's all a symbiotic thing.
So a big super chat there from Chris G says, you guys are still amazing. Brett, the best Minnesotan I've ever seen. Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. Mary, an amazing human. Is this a pet that's sending this? Thank you, Chris. Hi, Chrissy.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you for the crisis party.
Human is usually reserved for dogs when dogs talk.
Yeah. Maybe he's a dog.
This is, I'm so glad that I'm not married yet, so I don't have to answer this question. But I thought that they said that there's a right answer, that it's wife, child, mom.
Yeah, well,
that's what I was led to believe people were telling me the right answer was. And then they argued between whether it was child, wife, mom. Mom doesn't seem, in my mind, doesn't come first in any of those situations once you've gotten married.
Thank you.
I think it's child, wife, mom.
Eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
But then I posed the question to myself, and like, obviously, like, because I'm not married, I'm only thinking about this in theory. But when I posed it to myself, I would think I would put my husband first, then my child, then my dad. But they were not answering the same way. To bring it back to the conversation about Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater, people were basically either saying, give him a pass, like people get divorced now, so we should just accept this, which I emphatically reject.
Then don't get married.
Or they were blaming him, but not Ariana Grande.
Right.
Like they were saying he's at fault, but she just happened to be there. And it turned into like the Garden of Eden all over again.
Yeah. Look,
because he's the man, so he's at fault.
Look, she's a shooting star. You can't touch her. Anyone who wants, he's the astronaut that wanted to come close.
I mean, is there a world where she's not at fault, where he lied to her about being married and she wasn't married? They're not taking into account her situation at all, if that's actually how they think of it.
I'm pretty sure they were both married at the time that they met and started working together.
There's no way in a world that supposedly believes in equality where they're not both responsible for this.
Yep.
People just consider marriages and children to be like the collateral, and this is like your broken marriage and your child's future is kind of just the price for my happiness and my ability to have sex with whoever I want, which is just the height of hedonism and narcissism, which I'm not surprised by when it comes to celebrities, but it seems like a lot of normal people make excuses for this behavior, and that's why people like Ariana Grande have gotten way too confident.
Because people need Jesus.
They're just not. The reason why is because they're not getting called out and they're not getting shamed as they deserve to be.
Yeah.
There's no shame anymore.
Think about like your actual wedding vows, and it's like you're building a foundation like for the house that is the rest of your life. And you're like, no, I'll just like you're playing Jenga, and you're like, no, I'll just take one of the very core bottom pieces out, and the structure will be intact. It'll be fine. No, it's like you got to take a top piece off.
Remember, we live in a culture now that talks about the idea of starter marriages. So the actual emphasis you're putting on the seriousness of marriage is kind of laughable to a lot of people now.
Yeah, just date, just be roommates.
They don't see it. They don't see it that way. They don't treat it with the reverence it needs to be treated with because they don't really want to grow up.
Mm-hmm. They're saying
it's scary,
and they don't want to have God in their relationship. That's a big part of it too.
It's scary to commit that fully to someone. I think it's a lack of faith in themselves as well as the other person.
We have a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. I knew a Hollywood publicist, also crisis PR whiz, who was offered a ton of money to deal with a situation similar to the Ariana Grande shit show. Turned it down. She told me life's too short.
Impressive.
Well, I wouldn't expect that from most people in Hollywood, but that's commendable. Operation Outstanding Infield said, hi, Chrissy. Any possibility for a... Wait, what does this say? Minnesota comedy show. I don't see the rest of it.
Hold on.
Yes, eventually. I would love to get back to Minnesota.
Drew Outstanding.
Have you performed in Minnesota before?
I had this is going to get a little dark for a minute. So I had a sold out show in Minnesota like almost exactly 1 year ago, but I had to leave because the night before the show I found out my dad was murdered. So
where was that was a year ago?
It is like exactly a year ago. Yeah, October 19th was the day, and then I found it on the 20th. But it was, God, I can't remember the name of the venue, but it was in Minnesota.
That is very, very dark.
I'm so sorry.
I was talking about it with the guy who picked me up at the airport. We covered everything. We were in the car together an hour and a half.
At the very least, the crisis party didn't go off after.
Yeah. Oh my God. Our luck would literally be for the crisis party to go off right when you ended that sentence.
That would have been perfect.
And then everybody awkwardly dances.
I'm like,
well, we didn't mean for such an innocent question to go to such a dark place, but thank you for asking. We have another 20 from Corey Anderson. Wife, child, mom, I promised in front of God and everyone to love my wife forever. The last words my 90-year-old grandfather ever said to me while shaking his fist at me from his bed was, you take care of this woman. As he should.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's the ideal.
Let's go to Superchats.
All right. Mr. Joker said, Chrissy is friends with the bagel boss. Now is the time to get into it. I am so amused that you ever communicated with this guy.
First,
I brought
tell
him up
everybody again.
Yes, I have brought up the bagel boss on the show before. His name is Chris Morgan, and he had an absolute emotional meltdown in a bagel shop back in 2019?
Yes.
About the fact that he is a manlet and
he's not a man of size. He's a little bit vertically impaired, and he has a lifetime of striking out with women, and that just happened to overflow in a bagel boss in Long Island.
He became instantly E-famous as a result.
And people want to know, like, was he gonna eat a mini bagel that day? I don't know what his order was, but he became viral and so famous, and I was one of the first people to platform him and had him on my podcast, The Wet Spot, on Compound Media. And then he got a very big head right after. He did, I think, Jim and Sam. He did, a bunch of SiriusXM shows. He was all over. He had management like that. And all of a sudden he was demanding to be paid for these podcast appearances. And I was
He was like the prototypical Hawk Tuah girl.
Yeah.
He
back
was,
then.
And I was like, do I know Chris Morgan? I still have saved voicemails on my phone.
We need to hear this.
We can try to play it into the microphone. I mean, let us know, guys, if you can hear this.
And all you do is demand everything, and guys don't want to take your shit no more. You're fucking mentally ill, you stupid bitch.
Wait, let's rewind it.
Wait, this is just in the middle. Okay, let's start it from the beginning.
You repeatedly call me little this, little that. You don't say that to me in a text, or you wouldn't say it to my face, you little bitch. You say it on the fucking radio. You're a piece of shit. Your fucking show sucks. You got no audience, and you call me mentally ill when you're antagonizing me when I told you the truth? I had to tell you 4 fucking times not to call me unless you pay me. And you don't listen, and you harass me. And I'm mentally ill? No. You women are mentally ill. That's why so many of you are on these dating sites now at your age, divorced with kids. Because nobody wants you. Because you're all fucked up. You don't put out, and all you do is demand everything. And guys don't want to take your shit no more. You're fucking mentally ill, you stupid bitch.
And that's just one.
There are more?
Oh yeah.
Do you care to play us some more? I mean,
that's good. I think.
Some of these are long. Yeah.
What on earth could have triggered this melty? That's crazy.
I think
just because you didn't pay him for an appearance.
And then he started to I remember at one point he was like flirting with me via text, and I was like, dude, no, I have someone, and also no, never.
Yeah. Like it would have been no anyway, but also
no. And he definitely is bipolar, because this was not a reasonable response to the conversation he and I were having,
or any conversation.
Yeah.
But I also, in the middle of you playing the voicemail, I was like, wait, he's kind of spitting though.
He did.
These women are mentally ill though.
5 years later, I'm like, well, he was right about that.
I'm sorry that he was so rude to you, but that was hilarious.
It was fun.
We have a 20 from Carnell. Hail PCC and hail Chrissie. This is 1/3 crossover I've been waiting for. Hopefully Mary will join Chrysanthemum and Kiki for a nightlife stream, and still hoping Brett gets onto FNT maybe over the holidays. Let's go.
Yeah, unfortunately that's going on like right when we're on the air.
Yes, it's concurrent.
Yeah.
The show's starting now.
Yeah.
It would be better during the holidays probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was hilarious.
Like, I'm speechless.
Gone are the days. You know what the problem is? This is what we're missing out on now. And since Gen Z won't call anyone on the phone, we're missing out on a whole generation of viral, mean voicemails.
Yes.
What's the world coming to?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. What are you gonna play back a text, speech to text, and then put a voice to it? No.
That's actually really funny. There's something there that you could make about like somebody sends you like a really mean text, but you have to put it in their voice. I mean, we have AI technology now that will let you do that. Like you could capture someone's voice and then just convert the voice to text.
Right. Thank you. Number 5 for the day.
Somebody says texts don't cut. I actually find text worse. I would rather get into an argument on the phone and argue with someone than texts. Way more.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
There's nothing worse than like some type of confrontational text message.
A long argument via text is actually like kind of passive aggressive, unless you're at work and you can't talk. Which in that case you shouldn't be having the argument anyway.
Yep. It's great for women though. Women love that. Have you ever seen those videos where
because you're all mentally ill.
Have you ever seen those
You never
videos?
put out.
It's the girl at she's at like a baseball game and she's typing and the text is like this long and it just in the video just says "rip to whoever this dude is that's getting this message."
Like it's so over for him.
Yeah, that's rough.
Shane H. Wilder. Sorry,
I think women should strive to be like of few words. I think it like keeps people on their toes a little more.
Yeah, keep things vague.
Yeah.
Two more.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Happy Friday, Brett, Mary, and Chrissy, and happy All Saints Day to Mary. I made a Hallowtide Luce meme that I entered into a pints contest." There's a meme contest? I made a pretty good Luce meme today.
I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah.
Not one word made sense in that sentence.
Luce.
Luce is the Catholic Church's new pop culture mascot.
Is it pronounced Luce? I saw people arguing about whether it was Lucy.
No, it's Italian.
Okay.
Because it's from the Vatican. Okay. Andrew Jacobs said, "I'm a bit more pro-life because of Sam Cedar on TCW."
The culture war.
Jesus, my boobs look huge on camera.
Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, it's we're wizards here. Our setup here is we're wizards. We do a lot.
Whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
do two more of them.
A serious man said LFG.
I'll
Corey
never look
Anderson?
at that name without thinking it says ass serious man.
Mm-hmm. Corey Anderson said, "Hey, Chrissy, I follow your boobs on X."
Speaking of
the boobs.
And one more.
A serious man said, "Nice to see Chrissie Mayr on PVC."
Perfect. All right.
Perfect crossover.
Let's move on. Let's talk about.
Gisele Bündchen recently got pregnant after her divorce from Tom Brady, and she is currently with her jiu-jitsu instructor that she met while she was still married. She just got pregnant at the age of 44, which people are finding remarkable. I have to inform you that is biologically possible. And it's not just possible, it is definitely not some kind of like medical emergency or disease.
Right.
It's pregnancy. You can get pregnant if you haven't reached menopause yet. Sorry if that's news to you.
She's in great shape, and she gives hope to all the other 44-year-old supermodels out there.
Yeah, and there are all these photos of Gisele coming out where she just looks like she's glowing. She looks beautiful. I mean, obviously she's a supermodel, so you can expect that.
Constantly covered in bronzer and glitter and such.
But she looks gorgeous. And meanwhile, Tom Brady is actually sad posting on his Instagram story about this.
He's got a
He is
job
not
now.
okay.
He's like a play-by-play guy now, right? Like he's got to go to work. He
No
doesn't have to-
decorum.
He's like, I'm picturing him. He misses a call on a play because he's like sad tweeting,
And he's like stalking his ex-wife now. Looking at all of these
This is
paparazzi photos.
A sad Instagram.
Yeah, Tom Brady posted a picture of the sunset to the tune of Landslide by the former Dixie Chicks with the caption, "Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides?" Just a single tear rolling down
he
his
didn't
face.
he didn't get to grow up and use MySpace and put vague messages up, or maybe maybe back in the day he had AOL Instant Messenger and
His away message.
He put away messages up that were supposed to let you know that he was feeling contemplative.
With musical notes.
Yes.
Discourse about celebrity relationship drama of this nature always just frustrates me because everyone is in the wrong in some sense.
Yeah.
But people turn it into this proxy war about men and women in general. And all of the feminists were saying this is a W for women because she's showing that she doesn't need Tom Brady and she's better off with the hot younger guy that she met while she was still married. And yeah, and she left him in the dust, the father of her children. And then they're also saying, well, she's actually being irresponsible because she's getting pregnant at a late age, which means that she's risking the life of her child by doing this. How dare
she?
she?
Be announcing it if it wasn't at a point where it was, the kid was going to happen.
Right, obviously. I just think everyone wants to pick a side. Like, I'm sorry, Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen aren't your parents getting divorced.
No, and also he had already had a baby with Bridget Moynihan. It's not like...
When was that?
Oh, back in the day. I actually used to work at this all-boys prep school on the Upper East Side, and I was there because I worked in admissions, and I was there the day Bridget Moynihan brought in their, I think his name is Jack, their first son. And this was like, I guess, in the... years ago. God, I can't think of the year. But yeah, it was like as a K through 12 school. So like it's an interview. You have to go in and like interview, whatever. And I saw her come in. She was like beautiful. I was like, oh my God, it's Bridget. But yeah, so it's not like Tom Brady and Gisele had this like perfect relationship to begin with.
Well, she is also a witch. So
true.
Her witchcraft might be the reason why she was able to get pregnant at 44.
I had no idea that she had... I guess I'm a dude, so I wouldn't know any of this.
Jack Moynihan, I think, is his name.
Okay, that makes sense. See, this is actually, from a guy's perspective, this is the worst time for this to happen to him because he's not working anymore. I mean, he is, but he's not doing what he spent his whole life training himself to do. And this would have been better to happen while he was still playing because famously, now this isn't going to happen to him. He's obviously done really, really well for himself, not just playing football, but financially he's done really, really well for himself. He's not going to be one of those dudes. He lost like $100 million in the FTX scam and he's still doing fine. But a lot of times when a pro athlete doesn't have that sport anymore, their life falls apart because everything they've spent their whole life training to do is no longer there. And then the drugs get you and then the booze gets you. But he went straight into announcing. He's going to have to keep himself busy. Otherwise he's going to end up posting the wrong thing at 3 a.m. after having too many drinks, and they're gonna make fun. Like, he's gonna post a song that's even more unforgivable than the Dixie Chicks, and he's gonna get clowned on forever.
He's texting her like, "I miss you."
He is in a tenuous place right now.
I think Tom Brady should have a gap year, like between sports and announcing. Like he needs to just go maybe find himself. I don't know, maybe go backpacking in Peru.
Eat, pray, love moment.
Yeah.
He needs midlife crisis pointers from Ben Affleck.
More. I think he needs not just to announce, but he needs to get another job to stay busy. I think that downtime is actually the worst thing. If he spends too much downtime, he's going to be scrolling pictures on his phone. He's going to be sad booking.
It's like, I was just about to say, like, why didn't he work harder to keep the marriage together? Who knows? Maybe he did. Maybe he did try.
Yeah, we won't ever know the real story.
From Joker 2.
We got a 20 from Dr. Larsena. Dude, I'm late for the live stream today, but if only I'd known Chrissie'd be joining y'all, I'd have rushed home to not miss a second. Aww. Love y'all. No Diddy, Brett. That's the new word for no homo.
Yeah.
And we also have another crisis party from Chris G. Gisele is mid, Mary is queen. Ooh. Please change the music after the election. We'll change the crisis sound. Yeah, we'll come back with
assuming that the studio gets set up properly and everything doesn't explode to the high heavens. We'll
it's a fresh start.
We'll find a new one on there. Yeah. I come on. You can't stop calling. This is the Margot Robbie is mid discourse all over again.
Gisele Bündchen isn't mid. I'm sorry to say. It's just not true.
She is one of the best looking people.
That's coping from the internet.
Right. Yeah.
My personal opinion. But no, Tom Brady, get a second job, get a third job, spend even more time with your kids.
Yeah.
He's probably going on lots of dates. Do that.
I don't see this as winning at life though. Like, it's nice that she was able to find love after this, but at the same time, is this really what we as women should aspire to do? I feel like this is the posture that people come at marriage with. It's like, this is my starter marriage.
Yeah, it's messy.
And then I'm going to get to have a real love story later in life. Most people don't get that.
Yeah.
Especially if it doesn't work out the first time around.
It's like the kid is like your little memory from that relationship. It's like a cute little,
Maybe he just had too many Super Bowl rings and he wouldn't wear the wedding ring and she got really angry.
Ooh.
Maybe he just kept wearing the Super Bowl rings. You should get really pissed.
A lot of people are just dunking on Tom Brady. Like, what did he ever do other than be a man?
Beat a lot of other teams. That's like, do you know how... I don't say this with any, like, I'm not even kidding you. A lot of sports fans are kind of evil. Like, a lot of sports fans are worse than people in politics. Do you see the dude, what was it, like the other day out after like the Dodgers game, just dropped someone and the dude died or something like that? Like, people get drunk. Like, every time a team wins the Super Bowl or the World Series, the city that wins burns. As
Was this
we
a
saw
Dodgers fan?
It was. I don't
did
remember
that?
if it was somebody in the chat might remember better than me. I think it was like a New York fan hit a Dodgers fan, and the dude like just keeled over, right? So
Whoa.
sports fans can be very tribalistic.
They did blow that game. They really.
Oh
messed
yeah,
up.
they handed that one over to. I don't
Five
care.
unearned runs. 5.
I'm very happy for Freddie Freeman. And,
Yeah, he's a
I
good
think that
kid.
Shohei Ohtani is kind of the greatest thing to happen to baseball in a really
I
long
don't
time.
trust him. I don't like him.
Think
I
he's
don't
the
like.
gambler?
I don't like his face. For sure, he's
Think
the
he was the one
gambler.
gambling?
Yes.
Here's the thing. He's so good at baseball. Maybe he's just that bad at gambling.
I can't stand his perfect Asian discipline. I
He
can't.
does have perfect discipline.
He is just. I don't. He looks like a serial killer.
I don't know how many Asian serial killers there are, but I will say, having the year he had after not being able to pitch was phenomenal. So, just saying.
He looked like a wiener running around holding his shoulder. Like,
He had to do that. He had to do that.
Yeah. So while Tom Brady is getting dunked on, and a lot of women are basically concocting their own red pill discourse about what women should do to decenter men in their lives.
Decenter.
Decent.
I saw a lot of other discourse about the love lives of the Victoria's Secret models at the same time as this.
Ooh.
I saw someone tweet, Adriana Lima stayed a virgin until her first marriage, gave birth to an ugly man's children, and he still cheated on her. Pull up the photo of them.
Oh,
Do we think
wow.
this guy is ugly? I don't think he's necessarily.
This one?
I don't know. He's not the best looking guy in the world, but
compared to Adriana Lima.
yeah, you're with Adriana Lima. Usually when women marry someone they truly love and initiate divorce, it's because the man has broken her trust or given her false promises.
Bro just has eyes that are too close together. I can.
Yeah, he looks like he's.
So do I, man.
He's a distant relative, maybe.
Yeah.
But this is the discourse that feminists are pushing out. They're saying that, you should never be vulnerable to a man because he's going to cross you. He's going to lie to you. He's going to give you false
It's the
security.
Feminism is really just like it's capitalizing on a woman's fear of being vulnerable and like submissive. And I mean that in like the sort of godly way. Like
Yeah.
you should be submissive to your man and like just let him be the leader. And that doesn't mean that you are less important or weaker or dumber. I mean, I'm dumber, but I think
It is rooted in fear. A lot of it is. And that goes for both sides, for the red pill ideology as well, but also feminism. A lot of that seems to be rooted in fear. And then if you point to, someone's marriage being strong and working out, they'll say, well, that's the exception, not the rule. So I'm not going to base any of my decisions off of anything positive you tell me about marriage.
It's not like a
I'm only
crapshoot.
going to pay attention
It's
to.
not like, oh, my marriage working or not working. It's like playing the lottery. It's like, no, it's like you work at it every day to keep it strong so that like the temptations don't get the better of anybody, or that like work and life don't get in the way. And it's like, don't act like, oh God, well, it just didn't work out. It's 2024.
It's a coin toss.
Well,
oh well.
oopsie. I
Yeah,
tripped.
they act like they have no control over the situation.
Yeah.
But to end this on a more positive note, I did want to draw attention to Dylan Sprouse and Barbara Palvin. She is also a Victoria's Secret model, and they have a seemingly great relationship. Everything that I see from these two is just the cutest thing ever.
Is that this dude?
Yeah, they interviewed
He
him
looks like
there.
fat Leo DiCaprio.
I mean, Leo DiCaprio's fat Leo DiCaprio.
True.
But this, start from the top, because I think this is what every woman wants.
What about the rest of the show? Anybody you're looking forward to seeing perform? Of course, besides Barbara.
No, don't care. Only interested in seeing my wife.
That's you've been trained well.
See?
You get along with my husband.
Trained
I
well.
don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
So he just says something supportive about his wife.
And she calls him a cuck, basically.
Yeah, what's that? You've been trained well.
This goes back to the idea of happy wife, happy life, and the sort of benevolent nature of what that phrase used to mean, which was learn to pick your battles, and your home life will be better, which you never saw. You got 30 years of happy wife, happy life, but nobody ever showed you like the other way around. Like where she says, oh, okay, and then gives in to whatever it is that he wants. Anytime that is shown, it is shown as something that's actually negative and controlling. Whereas when the dude acquiesces, it's seen as he's doing the right thing for the marriage.
I see. Yeah. There's an imbalance there, an imbalance of expectations.
I mean, but that was all born out of a time when the woman was at home and not working, and now they're both at work anyway. So it's not like that power dynamic is even the same thing that it used to be most of the time.
A lot of resentment on women who are working full time and doing because they feel like they have to do the lion's share of the parenting as well. So they're just in this constant state of resentment toward their husband.
Everything's all out of whack. It's just weird.
Is,
I understand that you can have resentment toward your husband, but what is it with this trend where other women will resent your husband? That's what I just saw in that clip. This chick heard something totally positive about his marriage and was like, oh, I bet she trained you well.
I think it taps into women's innate sort of competitive nature. Because they're comparing themselves to those women, and it's there are these weird insecurities that come out.
That felt more like just an announcer to me.
But it feels cynical, and I don't like all of the cynicism that's going around. So that's why I wanted to point out a positive example instead of the sad ones. Yep. Let's continue reading super chats. DCNC said, "Hi Chrissy, I heard you really liked Dylan Mulvaney's stand-up."
Oh God,
Dylan Mulvaney's stand-up. Does he have a special or something?
The worst thing ever. Nah, there's a video flying around somewhere. He's just a whore for the screen.
I thought he was just a singer, a theater kid, basically.
He is a theater kid.
Marcos said, "Hello, Brett and Mary. Hello, Chrissy. Off topic, but what were your favorite funny commercials from back in the day, like the Got Milk commercials?" Ooh. You love Surge.
Yes,
Surge
old Surge commercials, which really were just advertisements for what life is like if you did a bunch of meth, and you got a bunch of
you got in a barrel and then threw yourself down a hill
and put a line of crack on a barrel and said, first one to the crack gets to smoke it.
I always like the commercials for products that don't exist anymore, like Crystal Pepsi, or the remember the Orbitz drink, which with the little balls floating around. Orbitz is pre-bubble tea. It was an old drink, imagine a lava lamp that you can drink.
That sounds cool. Why doesn't that exist anymore?
I don't know, probably cancer or something.
They're likely it was poisoning.
It was just plastic.
The balls probably had cancer in them.
Everything did.
We can't get the balls to float, and somebody's like, "What if we put cancer in the balls?" And they're like, "Okay, we got at least 5 years of this before somebody catches on."
I'll say mesothelioma commercials. Rotten Trails said, "Chrissy is really, really funny for a gal."
Ooh, thank you.
Do you get that a lot?
That's a nice compliment for a guy.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Requiescat in pace, rest in peace, old PCC Studio."
Indeed.
It will be missed. I'm not going to read that. Username said, "Ask Chrissy about stealing Christmas from a poor family." I don't know what this is referring to.
It's an old. This is maybe 10 years old. It's just,
if you don't want to explain, it's fine.
No, it's not. It's not even stealing. It was a bunch of us were out to dinner for a Christmas party at Compound Media, and the restaurant was closing, and somebody had left a shopping bag on a table, and they were closing it, and they were size, I don't know, small, medium, and so was my friend who I worked with, and I was like, well, I guess these are your clothes now. And then that's it. And then this whole story got built up around it that they were Christmas presents, that I'd stealing this, like I'm a Grinch who crept into a room under a tree and did this. And then took a sack of gifts and tiptoed out. Yeah, that's what happened, everybody. I stole them from a family.
Okay. It's insane how people come up with stories like that.
Have a lot of time on their hands.
A serious man said, "Don't be hard on yourself, Brett. You're girly enough."
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're just girly enough for this podcast. Shane H. Wilder said, "No, men need to man up and do the proposing." A lot of people have been talking about this, that men don't want to propose.
People are making jokes about me being girly enough, and then those same people are saying they want to be proposed to. And that's just sad, gentlemen.
Hypocritical. Yes. Shane H. Wilder, the next one was from the username I'm not going to read. Ask Mayr about her favorite comedian, Mike Red Bar?
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
I think he wears diapers.
DCNC said, so Brett, the new studio, it's going to take you a week to lay cable. Sounds painful.
It's going to be more getting this stuff all packed up in like an organized fashion so that it can all be laid out properly. And then Andrew, me, and Carter are going to work to put everything together. We have to find a new camera layout for everything in there and where the lights are going to go. It's not my specialty by any means, but we're going to figure it out.
Would you take a brick of money and then pass it to Chrissie and then she can pass it to me because I'm all out?
Yes.
Give me a brick.
The crisis parties have been going crazy. Thank you for that. Does it smell like real money?
It doesn't.
No. Thank you.
There we go.
Okay. Problem solved. Austin Brown said, hello, Chrissie. Been a Simpcast fan since the last time you were in this studio.
Wow.
Handsome bean you made. Tried to talk Wristflex into coming on PCC.
Wristflex is great.
I'm not familiar.
She is, she's a YouTuber. She dabbles in like conspiracy theories and politics. She's great.
We get into conspiracies sometimes.
Ooh.
Let's do one more.
Gordon Shumway said, saw an article today that says 1/3 of the coding at Google is done by AI.
Oh.
Someone find Sarah Connor and safeguard her. The rise of the machines will be soon.
Yeah, see, the thing is the actual Terminator movie will never, like the real world version of it will never be as interesting.
No.
Unfortunately. It'll just be over one day and you won't even know it.
Yeah.
So let's hold off on the rest. Let's come back after the fact.
This is a uniquely horrifying feminist trend. Women proposing to their boyfriends. I am unfortunately being hit with a lot of examples of this in my algorithm, and I need it to stop. I never want to see this. I know women are the gender that get the ick, but if there is any ick that men should have in response to female behavior, it should be your girlfriend proposing to you.
Let's actually hold off. We got 100.
Run, don't walk.
Let's do this and then
Chris
restart.
G sent us a crisis party again.
Thank you.
Brett's amazing. Skates and got the dragon off his back. Be nice. Thanks again for all you do. We'll miss you while you move.
Yeah, my favorite thing the other week, they're like, Brett's going to relapse. I'm like, wah, wah, wah.
What dragon?
I had a lot of dragons, actually. I had a lot of problems, but clean for many, many years now. But it was just funny because I was like, I guess that's my own fault because I've been open about it. You can't simultaneously talk about those issues and then expect people to not have opinions when things come up. So I took the jokes in stride, guys. It is perfectly fine.
Yeah. Well, in our progressive...
Let's just restart.
In our progressive future, a lot of women are proposing to their boyfriends. And recently I saw an influencer not only propose to her boyfriend, but make a whole production out of it. I mean, take a look at the pictures here. There's a neon sign behind them that says, marry me. And then this huge heart made of like bouquets of roses. And she kneels down and proposes to him with his ring. And he actually does that thing I hate where...
Yes, a million times yes.
This is actually my biggest pet peeve. When women get proposed to and they put their hand over their mouth. I hate it more than anything.
But you can't help but do that.
I swear, like in that moment, I will be like full on Sigma. Like I'm not going to put my hand over my mouth.
Yes,
absolutely not.
You're gonna go yes, yes,
absolutely not. Now it's excusable when a woman does it, but even in this photo, you can see the guy is putting his hands over his face like this.
He's embarrassed.
What is this?
Yeah, that's not good.
Disgusting.
Yes, 10 times yes.
But it should be no, a million times no. Because what are you doing making your girlfriend kneel and propose to you? This is insane. We have another 20 from The Last of My Kind. Have you seen the meme of Tom Brady looking at the tablet on the sidelines? And it's a video of Verlander's wife hammered drunk after winning the World Series, saying how much she loves watching him play. Tom then breaks the tablet.
I love, there's a lot of
seen
Tom Brady memes. Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah,
Okay.
Justin Verlander. Yeah, I feel bad for the guy because it also has to be caught on video.
It's always just... Yeah. No, but he said yes. He was okay with this.
I'll give you a funny example. So in the show NCIS Los Angeles, the character of Deeks is dating Kenzie, and he proposes to her 3 times, and she says no every time. And then she finally proposes to him, but it's like after a gun battle, and he's done plenty of masculine things, so you know he can be forgiven for doing so. She literally proposes with like the pin from a grenade, so it's plenty masculine. This dude has been emasculated.
No, I would say even that not acceptable.
I'm saying it's not acceptable, but it was done in the context of something where his masculinity is not entirely threatened. Most dudes aren't gonna have that. Don't let her propose, guys. Do it first, and be man enough to know when it's the right time, and that she's actually gonna say yes.
But the responses are always the same thing. They're like, let people enjoy things. You just hate people being happy. You hate love. No, I am perfectly supportive of people wanting to get married. Just not like this.
I think a girl proposing shows a lot of insecurity. It's like, and also like you're wanting to control it a little bit. Like, oh no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to plan it. And he's going to say yes.
Yeah, which is just totally reversing the roles in a way that it should be unnerving at the very least for the guy in that situation, because it's disrespectful. Like, you don't think that I'm capable of making that decision?
Right. And now are you going to be like the leader of this relationship from here on out?
Yeah, it sets the precedent that basically she's making all of these decisions and you're in the passenger seat as the man, which is the opposite of what a man should want. We have another 20 from the Manic Mustache. Miss Mayr, if you had a red battle panda as your child's post-apocalyptic battle steed, what would you name him and why? Follow-up question, why do you love soup? Hi, Margarita. Hi, Brentley. Safe travels to Talk's new studio.
Yes.
The name of your child's red battle panda.
What is a red battle panda?
It's a panda that is red and gets into battles.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a battle steed.
What's a good name for a panda? Maybe like Rolly?
Okay, we'll go with that.
I mean, that doesn't exactly inspire like war cries to me.
But they sound cute, so
okay.
I'm gonna go with it.
Roland.
Roland
is better than Rolly. I don't think anyone's scared of Rolly.
I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat disagreeing, but none of you are super chatting your takes. So I guess we can't have a debate about this like I hoped. But I also saw an example of this during the Olympics this year.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
One of these athletes named Alice Finnett broke a European steeplechase record, and after she finished in the final, she proposed to her boyfriend who was in the stands.
You got to be Finnett to win it.
This is just...
She's like, I'm tired of waiting. She's like, I'm tired after this race, and I'm tired of waiting.
Where was that ring? Was it in her snatch the whole time?
Yeah, like what was the plan?
Did she cough it up?
Who was in on this? I don't understand. And that wasn't the only Olympics proposal. I saw a guy propose to his girlfriend who was one of the athletes, and it was after she won a medal. And a lot of people hated that too, because they were like, you're stealing her moment.
That I like. I think that's cool. It's like it's already a high moment and you're just putting the cherry on top.
Yeah, it could go either way. Yeah. But the only problem I see with it is like, what if she isn't sure about what she wants to say in response? Yeah. Which is why we've said you only propose if you know the answer already.
Yeah.
Would he have said no if she got silver? He's like, nah. Sorry, I'm only marrying a winner.
Yeah, maybe he was like waiting for the moment that he would decide.
He's like, I'm gonna turn her down and he stays with her he just really doesn't like her anymore, and he stayed with her the whole time just to say no on national television.
Oh, well, they pay the athletes really well, I've heard. Cosmo put out an article saying 9 women on why they decided to propose to their boyfriends. Quote, if you love someone unconditionally, it doesn't matter which person does it.
Except it does, unfortunately.
One woman said, on our 2-year anniversary, in a non-traditional move, I asked, what is his name, PK, to marry me, and he said yes. Women aren't the only ones who should get engagement rings. Okay, he can propose, and then you can both have engagement rings. Why do you need to do it? There's this weird hang-up about it. Like, it's like you said, they need to control the situation, and that's kind of a female vice.
Yep.
I mean, I guess the issue here is how much do you judge someone where clearly in the relationship she's doing the leading and he's not leading much of anything. It's bad if things start going bad and things fall apart and he can't naturally take charge, which is his job. That's his role in the relationship. And when it's healthy.
We have another 20 from The Last of My Kind. Forrest Gump proposal all day. Just stand across the house and yell, "Marry me."
Definitely no public. I do kind of agree that the public proposal is naturally manipulative.
A little bit. Yeah. It depends on the situation, but you don't want that to be a pressure on it. We have another 20 from Chris G. The woman I loved passed away. I'm now dating a woman with 2 kids who is amazing, but her ex is horrible. It's sketchy to know if she wants to get married, so I'm leaving it up to her. You're not sure if she wants to get married.
You're going to have to have that conversation. This isn't the type of thing where you're like, I mean, maybe there's that idea that sometimes you just know, but the better thing to do here is to have clear and open communication about it, because it's not a fairy tale. It's 2 people building a life together, and you need to actually sit down with her and have that discussion and go from there.
Right. Don't just leave it up to guesswork. You should probably ask her what she really thinks.
Yeah, it's not like going to dinner. It's like, well, she'll let me know where she wants to go.
Yeah. That's such a discourse, right? Like women saying that they don't know what they want to eat, but then you like have an idea and they're like, no.
Yeah, I can say what I don't want to eat.
Yeah.
That's good for me.
But what they really want is for the man to say, we're going here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or to know, or to read your mind, be like, I know what you want.
Doesn't even need to come up with a good idea. Just say, we're going to this place. And that's it. I've made the decision. Women love that.
True.
And that's why men should propose.
I just think that it sets a weird precedent for the guy where he's going to maybe start looking to take cues rather than lead if that's how it starts.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have the baby shower then if she gets pregnant?
Yeah, like what is the like everyone is being spiritually transsexual now. Just accept your role. Be okay with it. I mean, you sent me a bunch of celebrity examples of this too, which I'm not surprised by. But this is funny. Out of Elizabeth Taylor's 8 marriages, one of them she proposed to the man.
Wow.
So she has a great track record.
Was it the last one?
Says Michael Wilding. That was not the last one. But Judge Judy also. That makes sense.
20 there from Gordon Shumway.
Gordon Shumway, why would a man wear an engagement ring? I don't know any guys who would show off an engagement ring, or any group of guys who would fawn over the friend showing off a ring. What's next? Dudes, wait, what is the rest of that? Getting wedding and baby showers? Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point. John says Brett needs to get his testosterone levels checked for telling men to be the ones to propose and to have a conversation about it so that you don't F up by trying to read her mind and getting it wrong. Yeah. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Also, if you're a guy that like wanted to propose and then she proposed and it's like, maybe you're not quite ready yet, but and then you're kind of, are you guilted into saying yes? Because you don't, it's just, it throws off everything.
Yeah. There's another one there from Chris G.
Another crisis party.
Thank you.
Chris G said, fair point, but Mary says the tradition is male. I'm saying there are complications. I respect her and can wait. Well, if she said that she doesn't know if she wants to get married,
then it's a continued discussion that you have.
Yeah.
You know, the longer the relationship goes on, the more things that are going to come up, and you have to make sure that you don't let the topic fall by the wayside, because what happens is then life changes, things change, and it becomes kind of an elephant in the room that never gets addressed again. It's just a conversation you have to have more consistently.
Britney Spears proposed to Kevin Federline.
That makes perfect sense.
Oh, no.
That makes perfect sense.
Well, it was already downhill from there. Jennifer Hudson proposed to her husband 5 months after he proposed to her. What is that? Bait and switch.
She's like, nah, I'm not getting married in June. She's like, I'm not getting proposed to in June.
That's so weird.
Wow.
Yeah, Kristen Bell proposed to Dax Shepard. Okay. There are a lot of examples. I'm not surprised that people in Hollywood would have such whacked out views about relationships, but I'm more shocked that normal people are starting to accept this.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I mean, it is just the gender roles have changed so much, and there's such a blurring the lines that all starts at women entering the workforce, and there isn't a clear delineation between roles at home anymore, that this was an inevitable byproduct of that.
Yeah.
So.
Everyone knows that it gives them the ick, though. I think we can all agree on that. Night Owl said, Chrissie, were you ever able to watch the Hitler sitcom pilot, Heil Honey, I'm Home?
No.
It's free on YouTube.
Wow. I know what I'm doing later tonight.
Boombox said, I think it should be illegal for actors to use their characters or paraphrase from their characters to support a presidential candidate.
Good.
Hogan, too.
That's a great
Look, that's... Thank you.
Eating the cats.
Illegal? I don't know about that, but, you know. Did you see the thing the other day about...
Thank you.
How, like, airlines now have to offer instant refunds? Like, airlines have to now offer instant refunds if your flight is delayed over a certain amount of time. Airline prices are about to just... Like, your flights are about to get way
It sounds
more
good at
expensive.
first, and
exactly.
then you
That's
realize...
like nothing the government gets involved in. And look, that's not to say that the airlines aren't effed up and that they don't have all of the leverage when it comes to this. But anytime the government gets involved in something like this, there's one person that's going to pay, and that's you, the consumer.
Wow.
We have another 20 from Adolfo Batista. I don't mind asking, but I ain't kneeling.
You're just going to like stand at an awkward angle and hold it like this?
Well, as a man, how do you feel about the implications of kneeling about proposals?
Take a knee and propose.
Why exactly, though? Is it just something you can't really
tradition
articulate?
I think tradition matters in that respect, especially if she thinks it matters.
Mhm.
Again, if you've had this discussion before and she wants a traditional proposal and she has an idea of what she wants for that, then, you know.
Right. But there are other traditions that I feel aren't important. Like, I'm not planning on wearing a white wedding dress.
Ooh.
Personally.
How
Because
good,
I think
Stefani, of
I
you.
think that's a tradition that isn't actually that important or meaneful personally. And it's not my preference. So I'm willing to make exceptions.
What color is it going to be?
Black.
Ooh.
That's just me.
You should do a Halloween wedding.
Oh, I would hate that. It has to be like a very delicate balance. We can't be spooky. Yeah.
Okay.
Bertidwell, 55, said, shame Brent has to do all the cable moving himself. Too bad Tim fired all the other help. Don't forget the graphics card.
That was rude. And no, that's not what it is. It's that so I will be getting help, but they're in Nashville for the election. So it's just we're moving, and it's not just me. I am getting help moving all of the equipment. It's just that actually building out a studio isn't my speed.
It's not your forte.
It's not my forte.
Corey Anderson said, my hear me out is Mr. Fluffykins.
You can see Mr. Fluffykins behind Mary.
It's a little gay though. Chrissy, do you have a hear me out?
What's that?
Have you seen this trend? People are
Like
baking
a bad take
cake
or something? Oh, no, never
and then
mind.
they like have this cake and then they print out pictures of cartoon characters or inanimate objects that they're sexually attracted to, and then they put it in the cake.
What?
I don't.
Where have I been? How have I
not
missed
on
this?
TikTok apparently?
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Every
not on
single
TikTok.
day, Mary brings something to work that
But
I
is
then
there,
stare
like-
long into the abyss.
Is there like an unconventionally attractive character in a show or a movie or something?
Oh, you mean how people have a crush on Nala from Lion King?
Something like that. Sure.
Let's see.
Because I couldn't think of
I
one.
don't know. I was about to say
personally.
Channing Tatum, but he's a human being.
He's single now.
Well, he's
too,
also
so you're good.
He's considered attractive, so
Right.
not really.
God, an object that I think, and I can't pick my vibrator.
You can't pick a vibrator, no.
A vibrator with my husband's face on it. No,
Like I saw women choosing like an octagon, like they're sexually attracted to like a shape.
This is mental illness. I think.
I said the same thing, but I'm just wondering, maybe you had one.
Shape.
Or like a number, or like a car, or
The number
Nothing.
11 is my
The number
lucky-
11?
Yeah, it's my lucky number, but it's also like
okay.
it's striking.
Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said, damn it, Corey. Unknown said, hail baby Frank.
Oh,
Your baby's name is Frank?
yeah,
Oh, that's sweet.
little baby Frankie.
Corey Anderson said, my favorite Korn song is Beep.
Yes.
I like that song. Edmundo Jr. Petruziello said, wanted to thank y'all before the hiatus. Mary, looking forward to you on IRL, and Brett, don't stress about the move. I'm sure you'll make plenty of friends at the new studio. Long live PCC, and hi, Chrissy.
Hello.
Thank you.
Brett is on IRL tonight.
Yes.
Actually.
Ooh.
And DC&C said, Mary watched Wonder Years. What about Family Ties? I did not watch Family Ties. Just Wonder Years. But I really do love Wonder Years. It's a little bit too syrupy for my tastes now, but I grew up with it. Rootless
See, we
redneck.
need more of that, not less.
Yes.
Well, it was like Top Gun Maverick as well.
Syrup is what made this country great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there is it's kind of like I always point out, the worst thing you can be is snarky in movies and television. It's not female characters that men hate, it's snarky female characters more than anything, and a little bit of honesty and a little bit of sincerity goes a long way.
Yeah.
It is why Top Gun Maverick is so great.
Yeah. Rootless Redneck said, I prefer the Archie Bunker and Meathead dynamic.
Thank you.
I don't know what that means.
Who is who?
Corey Anderson said abortion wouldn't be... Okay, I'm not going to say that. New Guy Don't Haze Me said, now that we are in November, how do you feel about the food on your Thanksgiving plate touching other foods? For instance, mashed potatoes touching turkey. Delicious or disgusting?
Delicious.
They should.
Why would you?
They should do it.
There's something about Thanksgiving food. It's meant to touch each other.
Yeah.
It's symbolic of you as a family coming together and touching each other.
In fact,
Whoa.
No.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke before that, but
I meant like a warm embrace. Nothing molesty.
you know what it is? It's Kamala Harris and Tim Walz that are telling you to not let your food touch each other on the plate. That's what they're doing.
Oh.
Politics are coming between the turkey.
They want
and the
to.
mashed
Everyone
potatoes.
knows
your
you
family.
put, like, after you have the leftovers, you put turkey
On a
and
sandwich.
cranberry sauce on a sandwich.
I love. It's getting bad. The cranberry sauce in the can, like where you can see the lines. I could sit and eat a whole can of that, like with a spoon.
But there's only one day a year that it's socially acceptable. It's so sad.
I'm thinking about it.
I mean,
now.
that's like that meme. It's like sometimes I forget an adult and I can just go buy a whole birthday cake for myself and nobody can stop me.
I never do that.
I never do it either.
Get a Fudgy the Whale out. Eat it with a fork in the parking lot. while
Colby
crying.
Hansen said the cringe ads from celebs is their work. Well, they are getting paid for it, most likely, so fair enough.
True.
A Magic Monkey said down with Space King. I don't know if we want to ruffle any feathers by saying that.
Praise Space King.
Serenco Productions said LMAO down with democracy by voting for the nominee who received 0 votes in the primary and was hired because she was a POC woman. Also, she's not black, LOL.
Nope.
Again, you have put more thought into this.
Don't care, didn't ask, plus you're not black.
Yeah.
You have put more thought into this than any of them have.
Yep.
Yeah, they just won't listen to
They
reason
just
on that.
support current thing.
Corey Anderson said, bringing my A game with Superchats in honor of Chrissy. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Roma Nation said, hey, Brett, do you need help moving this weekend? Hit me up on X or Discord.
I do believe people thought that I was literally going to just carry everything myself. No, it's me and Chris and Ryan. We're going to be taking care of it. We got it.
Everything's fine. Big Dave sent us 99 cents without a message. Thank you. Rhaegar Targaryen said Thanos did nothing wrong.
Oh.
Sometimes I feel that way. Corey Anderson said Mary got her hair done. I miss the roots, though. I don't care. Red Snow said PCC, Long Island, and a sandwich. Holy Trinity.
Ooh.
Sounds like a good pairing. Shane H. Wilder said millennial cringe hits different, not in a good way.
No, it's almost like a delayed maturity. It's
Are you a millennial?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's icky.
How do you feel about that? Do you think that millennials are superior to Gen Z, or like what? Like just by the bias of being one?
Complain too much. Like, yes, we've had it. I think harder, but it's very just like it's very low T to complain about it and like act like you're such a victim.
About like what, the 2008 recession?
They're never going to own a house.
Yeah.
The bad economy in 2008 and everything. Everything is
on 9/11.
Well, this is the thing that we talk about all the time, right? I say like even if you're right, complaining about it is lame. Like
it is lame.
I love complaining about other things. Complaining about my own problems, no.
it's useless because you don't get an alternate universe like of what you would be like if you were in the silent generation. It's like, no, we don't get, we have.
They would be less annoying though.
That's true. Yeah, they wouldn't be bitching.
The Venom trilogy is the worst trilogy ever made, said Brett Mary, double of Gladiator 2, What, and Wicked. I don't even know if we're gonna review Wicked
I don't know
at this point.
Look, any excuse not to go to Wicked, I am happy to take that excuse. I did see people talking yesterday about the historical accuracy of Gladiator 2, and they were complaining. I'm like, bro, who cares? Like, who cares? Like,
you mean with the race swap or other stuff?
No. But apparently there's like a cafe, and somebody's like in a cafe reading a newspaper several thousand years or 1,000 years before that would have
a newspaper.
Like, before the inventing of the printing press. I'm like,
that's crazy.
I'm like, here's the thing.
No, but that is a serious oversight, though.
Don't care.
Do you think they just did that intentionally, or was it just totally like incompetence?
I don't care.
A newspaper in ancient Rome.
I did read a tweet the other day where a guy said, like a film school teacher said, I'm reading scripts from my students, and somebody had they were making a script for a movie in the 40s, and I kid you not, they pull out a cell phone. Like, maybe it's science fiction. Maybe he's back from the future. Maybe you just have no imagination.
Now that I think about it, did ancient Rome have coffee? Did they have coffee back then?
They must have. Coffee's
I don't know how they wouldn't have found out about that yet.
Look, I don't care if it's entertaining. I don't care.
There probably was no sweet cold foam though.
Right. No pumpkin spice.
It's not being advertised as a documentary.
Right.
Right. Like things
like that do matter.
We get alt history all the time. Like, what if the Nazis won and America was run by Germany?
Yeah. Fair enough. Bender McSimpson said, Brett, Armageddon or The Rock, put a Chrissie on. We put a Chrissie on.
Depends on the day. I kind of like Armageddon. I told the story yesterday about Armageddon in the audio commentary, so I'll go with Armageddon today. Also, the idea that you could save the world, save the world and the American government would be bitter that 5 people wouldn't have to pay their taxes is so American. It's like the most obvious representation of the American government. Like, you saved the whole planet, and the government's like, you 5 people who were blue collar, we're not going to get your taxes.
Yeah,
and you're not
icky.
even in the high tax bracket. That's very true to life to me.
It's like, accept your crumbs.
Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said Ariana doesn't have thoughts because she is one. Ooh. Ethan is equally as bad. Keep your community theater ass with your wife and kid where you belong. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. When I see pictures of him and his ex-wife, I'm like, she was too good for you anyways.
Yeah,
that's so sad.
It's just a big L. Like, he took a big gamble for this glamorous Hollywood relationship, and it's like, no, you didn't bother to look at her track record.
He wins, though, and I don't mean this in a good way, because then, even if they break up, he's now been signaled to other women that he's a good choice because he dated Ariana Grande, so he will be fine.
Now he's
life's
Eskimo
not fair.
Bros with Pete Davidson.
Yep, life's not fair.
Pete Davidson it's been quiet on the Pete Davidson front lately.
What's he doing?
Who's he dating?
He's in
What's
rehab
going
for
on?
a while.
Oh,
he's just in rehab currently.
I think he was in rehab, or he was in there for like depression, which just means rehab.
Okay. Depression just means you're not busy enough.
Night Owl said, I'm digging Chrissie's Jessica Rabbit vibe today.
I'm just drawn that way.
Shane H. Wilder said, God, spouse, children, then parents. Agree.
We forgot about God.
Well, yeah, it's just if you only have the 3 choices. Colby Hansen said, wife, child, mom in non-emergency situations, child, wife, mom in emergencies. That makes sense.
Yeah,
this is the type of thing I put out. I tweeted the other day. I said, me during any situation where I have to focus at all, and my brain goes to, is the trunk release button on my key fob on the left or the right when the key is facing out? Because that's the way my brain works.
Yeah.
That list of like order, that's going to be what I'm thinking about when I'm supposed to be doing something else. I'm like, what was the emergency they were talking about in that situation? Was it wife, child, mom in the emergency situation, or was it child, wife, mom in the emergency situation? And then I'll be like, what were you saying?
Like, is that the order that we have to order from the menu in?
Yeah.
Heidi K said, I went to St. Paul on Sunday for a concert. That city smells like straight up Dookie. Korn, Gojira, Spirit Box were dope though.
That's sad because look, I'm from Woodbury, which is just a suburb of St. Paul, and St. Paul was always a beautiful city to me. Still is, at least the last time I was there.
Does it smell like Dookie?
It did not when I was there, but I thought
all the cities were starting to smell like weed now.
Have you seen the George Floyd Memorial?
I did go past it. I think not last time I was in town, but the time before that.
It's not well kept. It's basically like a sun-drenched wet garage sale.
Yeah.
Is it a statue that you're talking about?
No,
or
it's just like
one of the
people
murals?
come and bring garbage in front of Cup Foods, and it's become like an unfocused. Like, oh, do you know someone who died? Throw a picture up.
Thank you.
Eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
Andrew Yu said, don't F with me. I have the power of God and anime on my side. Luce memes are a great blessing and defiantly the right idea. Definitely, defiantly. A serious man said, I thought the bagel boy was Cecil?
No. Cecil. This is a different person.
Corey Anderson, I'm not reading that. Shane H. Wilder said, I saw your Luce meme. I laughed. That image, I think it came to me in a dream and I needed to make it. Omega Red fan said, jiu-jitsu instructor job, not for the money. It's to pick up chicks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly effective.
Tom Brady's like, it's not that I lost her, it's that I lost her in such a cliche way.
Right?
But now she's
couldn't have been like, I signed her up for a computer coding class. And
No. Should have signed her up for competitive eating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Andrew Yu said, do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. Luce. Yeah, that was totally her that said that.
Yep.
Brian Bledsoe said, in a tight race, if these celebrities can get even 0.05% of their collective followers to vote that otherwise wouldn't, that could make a difference, unfortunately, and more so at the state level.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's why they're doing it.
You're out of stacks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the money. Dr. Larsena. Oh, no, I already read that
The
one.
Rumbling.
The Rumbling said, the Sweeneys are sweet. Those Uptons will keep me up tonight. Oh, hey, Bretley and Marina.
You shouldn't be saying that. It's No Nut November.
Right. Again, don't let this election distract you from what's really important about the season. The reason for the season is No Nut November.
Don't be confused. It's not nut free.
Yeah.
Just no nutting.
The Rumbling said the Super Bowl rings are his trophies and the wedding rings would be her trophies. In Tom Brady's situation? Yeah. A serious man said couples therapy is like Kegels for relationships.
Ooh, I'm doing them right now.
That's very profound. Shane H. Wilder said it's almost like marriage is a give and take. It's not 50-50, but each person is supposed to give 100%, almost like you become one flesh or something.
Well, sometimes you give 20%, sometimes you have to give 90%. But it should be equal overall.
Maximum effort, as Deadpool says.
Drewish AF of God's Army said Happy All Saints Day and a preemptive All Souls Day. Thank you.
I celebrate All Holes Day.
When is that in the calendar?
That's actually that was Halloween.
That was Halloween. DCNC said, Mary, you've been practicing your proposal reaction.
Do you have
I just mew in the mirror. And I'm like,
the chin goes out even farther.
I'm Sigma mode. I am not gonna gasp. I am not gonna put my hand over my mouth. Absolutely
Sigma grind set song
Never.
comes on.
Grind set.
You just have to be in that Sigma grind set at all times. Gordon Shumway said, a red panda isn't actually a panda. That's just like a koala is not a bear. Just saying. Well, what is a red panda then? Like a dog? I don't get it.
Didn't they make a movie about it? It was like synonymous with like a girl's period.
Yeah, turning red. Yeah. Zach Yandel said she pulled a, what is this? Spy family proposal? Lloyd would be proud? I don't know what that means. Do you?
Didn't see it.
Nope.
Pete Donovan said, don't forget, crisis actors, we are so stunning and brave for enduring a PCC hiatus and election madness. May we all nourish ourselves by self-care maxing as much as possible, like society tells us
Again,
to.
You guys always think that the word nourish is going to bother me in this context. It only bothers me when crunchy nerds try to tell me how to eat.
You know what?
Say eat yummy food and nourish your body.
Like Alex Clark was like, here's why canned cranberry sauce is actually cancer.
Gonna kill you.
It's like,
yes.
I don't care.
Speaking of election coverage, so I was at the gas station over by here today, which I don't go to that one very much because I go to Sheetz, of course.
Sheetz.
But I used to go to this one more, and the guy who works there, who I've been cordial with for years because you go in and out, and I say hi, I put my stuff on the table, and he just starts showing me a video of people trying to cross the southern border.
Why?
They're from Nepal. Like his family, like they came here legally.
He wants you to do something about it.
And he's like, I can't believe they're doing this. And he's just complained for 20 minutes about, we just talked about like illegal immigration for 20 minutes. I'm like, I got to go to work, but I got time.
My wife won't listen to me talk about politics. I need this guy too.
Please mention this on the show.
I was like, yeah, and that's why they're creating a permanent slave class by.
He really needed to get those feelings off of his chest. Corey Anderson said, Mary, Mr. Fluffykins is a bio woman. It's cool. Okay.
There's Mr. Fluffykins.
I just learned that. Yeah. I thought Mr. would imply male, but I guess not. Edmundo Jr. Petrosiello said, to be fair, the characters exist without the actors. There'd be no Hogan without Terry. He's got more right to use the persona than the actors, IMO. The actor, should Disney sue the Avengers actors for what they just did?
No, look, there's no way to enforce that. They're gonna do it. It's your job as the viewer to not be like duped by these idiots.
Yeah. Cornell said, if women are going to be proposing to their man, can we also expect that those women will ask the mother for their son's hand in marriage?
Oh,
right.
Checkmate.
Breaking all the traditions.
That's bad. No one
He's
wants
like,
to do that.
He's like, I wish I could say yes, but you didn't ask my mother. The whole thing is just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Lyman de Coconut said, if you're worried about your Thanksgiving food touching, go get help. You have OCD.
You gotta get like those plates with like the ridges that separated into.
Yeah, what are you, a little kid?
What are they called? Those plates that had like zoo animals for kids?
Zoo plates?
They were like
zoo animal plates. That's my
Someone
guess.
in the chat will know what I'm talking about.
Platables.
But yeah, it's childish behavior. Shane H. Wilder said, traditionally, wedding dresses were all colors. They only became white after Queen Victoria wore one, so black would be more traditional.
What?
Perfect.
We can just logic our way into anything these days.
Well, I knew it was like a relatively recent thing that wedding dresses were supposed to be white, so that's why I didn't really care that much.
When else in your life are you going to wear a white dress?
Like other times. Like I have white dresses. It's
but
just
a gown?
Not that time, for me at least. Not like I have anything against any other woman wearing a white dress. Corey Anderson said, you might not want to have read that super chat, Mary, but you know I am right. What is your favorite Hot Mulligan song? I like Please Don't Cry, You Have Swag. What is it called? Like No Shoes in the Coffee Shop? It sounds very stereotypical. Winter Fire said, Michonne deny for K, hopefully Rick is MAGA.
What is The Walking Dead? Is this because she was in that video.
Oh.
So yeah,
I didn't realize it was the same actress.
So Andrew Lincoln, I mean, they're actors. They're actors. They're emotional
Andrew Lincoln
people.
is British. Actors. He's British and he does a really good Southern accent.
Actors are emotional people who are swayed by emotional arguments. It's like
for the most part, yeah.
They're on the Diddy tapes. I'm like, no, they're just NIMBY.
I'm telling you, Andrew Lincoln is on the Diddy tapes.
Dude, he was like, bro, I love The Walking Dead. You got to come to one of my white parties.
Don't worry, we got enough lube.
Pete Donovan said, eating a whole cake with just a fork is the best.
Ooh.
I mean, it's like the best while you're doing it, not after.
I've earned this.
Pop Culture Junkie said, Brett, best of luck with your studio move and Mary, safe travels on your Nashville trip. Thank you. Pete Donovan said, remember today is a solemnity, so you can eat the cat, eat the cat. Just kidding. That would be totally barbaric. Happy last show in the old studio. See y'all on the other side of next week.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see you on Monday. Not that John, not this next Monday, but next
Monday
next
after.
Monday.
Yeah.
Not that Jon Stewart said no potatoes, no tomatoes, no coffee, no cane sugar. They are all from the Americas, and this is before Europe went to America.
If that's in relation to Gladiator, I still don't care. Eat tomatoes, throw them at the fighters. I don't.
Oh,
care.
they were throwing tomatoes.
No, I'm making that
Oh,
up.
okay.
I'm just saying, like, I mean,
if they had a newspaper, what else am I supposed to believe? They were throwing tomatoes in Gladiator too.
Call me.
Wait, they had tomatoes.
They're
Italian.
Call me immature, but I think that type of stuff is actually more important in modern day movies, where it's like, if you're going to tell me when they made the movie Y2K, can't have an iPhone in the movie about Y2K.
Well,
okay,
yeah.
then it actually matters.
I was gonna say we should talk about this on the show today, but there's a new Netflix movie set in 2003, and it has all of these Gen Z actors acting like millennials, but they did the costuming all wrong, and everyone's really upset about it. Like, we didn't tuck in our jeans like that. No one looked at their MP3 player while they were listening to music like it's a phone. And
true.
you know, they were just like, they had a lot of nitpicks, but I kind of agree.
Just
like, it
go
doesn't
and watch
look
Roswell.
authentic.
Just go and watch the show Roswell.
2003 was not that long ago, and I feel like it should be easier to just do it accurately.
No.
Yeah.
No.
There are plenty of millennials who can inform you on what they were wearing in high
It's
school.
basically like still 90s aesthetic, really.
Yeah.
And plus Britney Spears, plus all those gals.
But people also just like, they have the pop culture idea of what 2003 looked like, but there was also like what it actually looked
Yes.
like. And I don't remember that because I was 3.
Me too.
The last of my kind said stuffing everything in Chris's Fiero, Chrissy Sup.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to bring everything to the new
no.
studio in a Fiero.
That is not going to work. Shane H. Wilder said coffee was thought to be Satan's drink until Pope Clement VIII blessed it, saying, "This devil's drink is delicious. We should cheat the devil by baptizing it." Cappuccino is named after Capuchin monks.
Oh.
I knew
thought
the last part.
I thought it was named after capuchin monkeys.
I'm about to just kill during some party with the trivia on that one.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, did you know that?
And then they ask you like a follow-up question. You're like,
No idea. No clue.
Nope.
Satan's drink. Wow. Drewish AF of God's Army said, bought my first house at 24 in 2013 without a degree.
Another one
Someone's
of the
an
biggest
adult.
another one of the biggest damages that Hollywood has done is to make movies and television shows that demonize the trades and act as if you're not going to make any money becoming a, like, I literally was watching an episode of like Crossing Jordan. Guys like, I'm a plumber, I can't send my kid to college. I'm like, they frame it as if the guy was just living on scraps when the dude was likely making very good money, especially back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
If he owned his own business.
Right. They just don't have any concept of the way people...
It's a coastal view.
It's
of,
like it's a blue collar shaming.
Yep.
Gordon Shumway said red panda falls under a unique taxonomic group called Ailuridae, sharing common traits with mustelids, which includes raccoons, weasels, and skunks. Thank
I'm
you
so
for
glad
that
you have to read
factoid.
the super chats and not me.
Yeah, I'm impressed by myself. Sithkill said, random science note, red pandas are a part of the weasel superfamily Musteloidea. As of 2006, this family has otters, badgers, raccoons, and skunks. Both of you have weirdly in-depth knowledge about red battle pandas. Zach Yandel said, Spy X Family is an anime. Lloyd proposed a grenade pin.
Oh, I wonder if they stole that. I wonder if the NCIS show stole it from that anime.
Maybe.
That episode was from like 2018, so.
Chris G. Oh, I missed this. It was a $20 one. Sorry about that. He said, Brett, you smile for the gas station, but you know you miss Quick Trip in the Midwest.
No. QT Quick Trip, maybe. K Quick Trip, hell no. Hell no. Not at all.
Did you have a favorite gas station?
QT Quick Trips were like a prototypical version of what is like a smaller version of what became, like you see Buc-ee's now, which are gigantic. Minnesota had Bobby and Steve's, which was a very large gas station, which had like hot food and stuff like that beyond just grills. But no, we have Sheetz here. We are superior. Sheetz supremacy.
Corey Anderson said, "Can you tell Brett Cooper I said hi? I'm a big fan."
She'll say so.
I totally am going to tell Brett Cooper that Corey Anderson is a big fan and says hi. Gordon Shumway said, "No, Mary, Italians did not have tomatoes back in the day. They also did not have noodles. Noodles came from China and weren't introduced to Europe until Marco Polo centuries after the Roman Empire."
Sounds like communist propaganda to me.
Yeah, I'm just going to choose to not believe that. I think we're all caught up on the super chats, though, right?
Shane H. Wilder says, "We got 10. Brett must wear the wig next episode." I don't think that was a bet for...
Was it for this week?
For this week? We'll come back to that.
Oh,
Perhaps.
You're going to go back on it.
I'll bring it to the new studio.
It'll be included in the
I may forget on that Monday show, so somebody will probably have to remind me.
I'll remind you. It's okay. Brandon M said, "I'm pretty sure you skipped my $20 chat, but that's cool. Hail Chrissie Mayr's boobs." Yes. Mary, read it. "I'm not a perv. It's a callback. Hi, Brett." I don't know what it is. I didn't see anything from you.
What was the...
If I skipped it, I would tell you. I promise. I have no idea.
Oh, it's up here. "Hail, Chrissy, you're on a different Friday show, so happy to see my two favorite podcasts collaborate. PCC and Friday Night Tights Super Show would be like a Make-A-Wish." Hi, Brett and Mary.
I guess that one just didn't show up in the spreadsheet. DC&C said, "Get Brett Cooper on PCC." We would love that. Yep. Was there another one from Shane H. Wilder?
Yes.
I just don't...
It says, "Prayers for safe travels and to not lose your mind during elections. Yeah. Mary, don't f the new studio." Oh, he says,
don't f the new
there's a comma there that I couldn't read. "Don't f the new studio, Brett. Much love. See you guys in a week." Yeah, I mean, I probably will, but we'll wait and see.
It'll be fine.
But if I do, Andrew will fix it.
It'll be okay. We'll be fine. We have another 20 from Chris G. "Ouch, you missed my earlier comment about Daphne and KT is way superior."
I didn't see it. I didn't see that one. We apologize. A lot of them came through there. We almost hit 12 today, so that's crazy. All right, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video, please, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Chrissy, thank you.
Thank you for having me. This was such a joy.
Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yes, I'm at Chrissie Mayr on all the platforms. That's ChrissieMayr. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to hit 100K so I can get that play button.
We want the play button too.
We're at 190K and we still don't have a play button.
I'll talk to my guy.
You have a guy? That's awesome.
I have a guy. And watch Friday Night Tights when you're not watching this show. Fridays at 4 p.m. on Nerdrotic's channel.
Just pull it up on both.
Yes, watch it concurrently.
There's an unknown in our chat. He makes a point every Friday to say FNT and then peace out. So every day he announces his departure, and every Friday I clock it.
It's giving us abandonment issues here.
And also I have a Sunday night show called Simpcast that I would love to have Brett and Morgan on whenever you are available.
Yeah.
Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then I have a Thursday night show, Nightlife. That's Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern with Keanu Thompson.
Perfect. Mary.
Gordon Shumway said hostage party. Everyone send $2 chats.
There will be no hostage party because we got to get over to IRL.
DC&C said, "See ya, Dasovich."
Oh, that's whatever. Mary, where can they find you?
You can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
One more from High Voltage 75 says, "Plans for the 200K celebration." We will get to that.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to get there, but when we do, we'll address that.
I didn't even think about that.
When the new studio is up and running.
Yeah.
Gordon Shumway says, "Let's go." Sarenko Production says last. Well, yes, that will be the last one I will read. Guys, if you would like to follow me, Instagram and Twix at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. This show is here normally 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. I do want to give you guys another reminder. We will be off air next week while the rest of the crew is over covering the election in Nashville. Mary will be over there. As we talked about all day, I will be working to get the new studio set up over at Freedomistan. So bear with us for that time period. We will have segments from the show coming out that whole week. So make sure you go and watch those. That is a way that you can support the channel algorithmically and keep things moving while we are off air. So thank you guys so much for all that. The show, oh wait, there's one more there from Carnelli, says, see you later. R.I.P. Stinkbug Studios. Yes, I saw a comment the other day where somebody said there's a roach on your chair, and even though I know it's a stink bug, that instantly made me just way worse. I'm like stink bug. Everyone
no, that
can
would be
forgive.
way worse.
Roach is like, what's going on over
Something's
there?
very wrong.
Yeah.
So guys, if you want to listen to this podcast rather than watch the show live, we are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than watch this show, go and leave a rating and a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please. And if you want to follow the show on social media, Twix at @popculture_show, Facebook and not TikTok because we were banned on TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, and on Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. I'm there. And then make sure you guys tune in tonight. You're going to be on IRL?
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yep. Me and Chrissy will both be on Timcast IRL tonight, so go and check that out. We will see you guys not next Monday, the Monday after. Later, everyone.
Bye. Oh, wait, we have one more.
Yep.
Geneva said, hey, Brett, prayers that the move will go well.
Thank you so much.
Prayers
we'll
up.
see you guys not next Monday, the Monday
We have
after.
a 20. Oh, we have another crisis party as well. Thank you for the 12th party.
I gotta go! We got places to be!
Chris G said, why Nashville? I don't know. Ask Tim.
Ask Tim. He knows the answer to that.
We out.
See you not next Monday, the Monday after. Bye guys.
Bye.